Welcome back to Nightmind, friends. It's the end of the year, and that calls for a visit to a project that's a bit bigger and a little more cinematic. Luckily, I know just what to choose, and a few of you have been waiting for this one. Though you may have only heard of him recently, Alex Bale has been uploading on YouTube now for 10 years. Literally, as of this very month. Go back in time to the very first video, Titanic with sock puppets, and you'll see it was uploaded December 10th, 2014. Maybe there were videos before then, since the channel was created June 30th, 2014, but the fact remains, it's been a decade. But it was only 4 years ago, 6 years into his work on YouTube, that Alex uploaded the video that catapulted him into massive recognition. Spongebob Conspiracy Number 1, The Squilliam Theory. Amazing, isn't it? Alex's very first visible video, 2 deeply yellow sock puppets over a swimming pool, and 6 years later, multi-million view videos on SpongeBob narrative and world build theories. But we aren't here for SpongeBob. We're here for the back half, because Alex's ability to show us the world under the bright colors of media isn't constrained to the cartoon. True to the form he's always kept, there was a whole film narrative behind SpongeBob Conspiracies, sprawling into an ARG layer. A cascading conspiracy all its own that challenged viewers and players to put together the pieces. With every adventure on Nightmind, I highly encourage you to undergo the original experience first, and Alex has made it incredibly easy with a whole contained video for his major breakout series, Don't Feed the Muse. The link is in my video description. The info card on YouTube is popping up right now, and if you want to just get it right from Alex's channel by going over there, it's Don't Feed the Muse, full horror web series by Alex Bale. You get the whole cinematic arm with supplemental pieces to assist in understanding the story's wider narrative. There are some large pieces missing that I'm going to provide for you here, but I urge you, go through it first on Alex's channel. Not only are you supporting his truly dedicated endeavor, you'll get the original experience generated by all his work, his team's work, and you'll pick things up faster and with greater understanding in our exploration together. And if you want to start with one of the SpongeBob theories first to really nail the surface experience, feel free to choose whichever you like. But might I suggest the Mrs. Puff theory? That exploration is so good, it transcends theory to me. I feel like Alex discovered what writers had slyly set up over time and it's actually canon. It's just too good to be an accident. But enjoy whatever you like of these, as long as you view the definitive edition of Don't Feed the Muse after. Go on, take your journey, then come back here. I'll be waiting. Okay, are you ready, kids? I can't hear you. Oh, yeah, I had to do it. All right, let's dive. Alex's definitive edition of Don't Feed the Muse opens with a prophetic childhood scene. Alex wears a shirt with a puffle from Club Penguin, while a child in line behind him wears a SpongeBob shirt. The camera follows Alex on stage as he takes a picture with SpongeBob and Patrick. The title card follows, and we experience a montage of Alex's early history on YouTube with audio from his film school application video. He'd been incredibly active as a young filmmaker up to that point, and stated quite plainly that he always wanted to make movies. It's all he really wanted to do. Alex was accepted to Florida State University's film school, and we see a montage there too, with the following short films uploaded to his YouTube channel. Plenty of horror and odd humor. Views were okay, but not stellar. Graduation occurred, followed by more YouTube uploads. The view count didn't really change. Alex's mother left a voicemail, encouraging but concerned, suggesting something more stable for work. Post-it notes sorting his ideas began to stack in a trash can as none produced a true hit. We pull back, observing a bank of monitors showing Alex's work up to this point, and watch as they all turn into surveillance camera lighting rings. Text rolls over the screen in aggressive red. Interesting. He has potential. She chose well. Begin Phase 1. And then we come to Alex's breakout piece, the Squilliam Theory. He sits back, watching as the view count soars, the subscribers come flooding in, and reaction channels eat it up, blown away by his ability to make connections. And once you hit gold on YouTube, you don't just try it once.
I don't even know what to say. The reaction to these 3 SpongeBob conspiracy videos has just been insane. Thank you guys so much. Maybe I'll make a few more of these, if I can come up with some more
Off he goes again with another major theory. Views soar, subscribers soar, Alex Bale wins again. But with this amount of attention comes what always follows when you get bigger on YouTube.
Alex Bale out with another video. The makers of Spongebob interfere to put in their own message to brainwash you people.
Maybe some of you love them a little too much. You know, I got other videos, right? I make films and stuff too. Anyone want to watch those? Anyways, I've been your host, Alex Bale. Thanks for watching. Hey, just want to let you know that I think I'm gonna take a break from the SpongeBob videos for a little bit. It's not you. I mean, the videos are great. People love them. It's just, I think I want to go back to making actual films for a bit. Okay then. Thanks for everything. I guess I'll just see you around.
When I found you, you were unnoticed and unloved. But now you have millions of views. You have sponsors. Why would you forsake them?
I just, I don't want to really make these videos forever. I don't want to be known as the SpongeBob guy.
My boy, do you really think they'll care about your little films? I am your muse. I have given you the gift of knowledge. If you wish to go back to anonymity, then be my guest. But I know who you really are.
Alex contemplates his choice as we're taken to a new screen, bringing back the aggressive red. Information on him is somewhat visible in the upper left corner as we're told. Host showing resistance. Recommendation: apply psychological pressure. Anyone out there surprised that the monster is manipulative? No? Maybe some surprise that it's connected to a larger force, but for many, I imagine not. Alex here is referred to as a host, and he's on file within a system connected to the Muse existing on raw meat in his garage. Hosting the Muse? Or hosting something else? Let's take a moment to observe the inclusion of that one tinfoil hat oddity, Conspiracy Carl. That Wix site is real, and he's got plenty more videos on it, with dates and view counts. Just try to keep your eyes on those in the mess of conspiracy theorist and anti-Alex Bale and Spongebob images. There's a touch of humor here for sure, seeing a tinfoil hat conspiracy nut targeting Alex Bale, who is a SpongeBob narrative conspiracy nut. Theory number 5 arrived on July 27th, 2021. Let's see what Conspiracy Carl was cooking under that hat up to then.
Welcome back to the awakening. Another terrifying day at work is done. I don't know if I can stand it much more. Everywhere I turn seems like somebody's watching me, keeping track of what I'm doing. Oh my gosh. I might have to upgrade my hat.
Video 1 is about, mysterious evil brainwave manipulation towers being built nearby, and how Mike Wazowski in Monsters, Inc. represents the all-seeing eye. Then something about demonology, pets, the children, lots of rambling and grasping at vague ideas of nebulous nefarious actors in society. At some points, we see SpongeBob on the red string conspiracy board. Carl's videos follow a path of rambling, unfounded lunacy for a few videos, very much riding the line between too good an impression of this type of online character and a clear caricature. The pattern suddenly breaks at the video from April 9, 2021, which amassed just under 17,000 views in-universe.
I am looking at my website over here, and I have noticed that I am getting tons and tons of visitors, and I am really, really appreciative of this. I am so psyched about this. This is the best. We are getting the word out, but don't, you can tell your friends, but you got to be careful who you tell, everybody. Not everybody. Conspiracy Carl doesn't want to have that knock on his door from the people in the black coats. You know what I'm saying? I already hear the helicopters. Gotta watch out for them. But hey, let me tell you what, I'm stoked.
What sets this video apart from the previous besides Carl's focus is the background element. This nut actually appears to have a family, or did. Wife and son, it seems. Where are they? Not in the next video from April 15th, his most viewed yet at a painfully long 6 minutes 7 seconds. It's actually giving praise to Alex Bale, who Carl views as a kindred spirit helping unveil the hidden messages of the world. Carl goes over the Squilliam theory, finding it relevant to his points of view. And on his next video, it happens again, to an even higher tune of viewership. You'll notice Alex is on the conspiracy board now in Carl's room, and if you're really eyeing things on the board, not to make a pun, you'll catch this odd statement on the lower right. Take the number MU53. Except, if you read the numbers as letters, it says, take the Muse. What does Conspiracy Carl know about muses?
But there's something different about this narrator.
Think about the narrator, the voice inside somebody's head. You know what I'm saying? That right there tells you. You put a chip in someone's head and then somebody's transmitting to it. That's why you need one of these people.
It keeps going like this, with Carl acting as another reactor to Alex's work, and it's getting strange. Like not Carl's usual strange. The sights we're getting of Carl are strange. Back and forth for a few videos now, we've been seeing two different perspectives of Carl in the same review flow, and the conspiracy board is different too. The images are similar, but there's loose thread instead of tight, the light is on in the room, the camera is up close, Carl's wearing different clothes, and his glasses aren't the same. Why would Carl have two absurdly different shots and office setups like this? Just after the Squilliam theory viewing, Carl posted two blogs. One about being watched by his microwave, and one about doppelgangers. Have you ever seen someone that just looks a little too suspiciously like someone else? Have you seen someone that looks too much like yourself? You may have encountered a doppelganger. We're not watching a doppelganger of Carl that's managed to cut into his own footage, are we? With its own doppelganger of his office and conspiracy board? Why are so many identifying details of this room out of sight?
Miss Puff. That whole Miss Puff thing was blowing me out of the sky. How she's infiltrated the societal infiltrator. Lives in one place, something magically happens, then they show up someplace else, infiltrate there, controlling. Oh my gosh, this is just incredible. Alex Bale, man. I love that guy. Good job, man. Good job. There you go again with the Miss Puff thing. Yeah. Anyway, yeah. Keep your eyes open. This has been Conspiracy Carl for you.
Yeah, I don't trust this coincidence. The meta messaging is right there. Where does it go from here? 215,000 views on May 24, 2021, that's where. Right after Alex's fourth video, in which he acknowledges Conspiracy Carl in a chill out just a little kind of way. Which is probably why this Carl video is going to be a bit different and certainly why it racked up views.
Hello, fellow truth seekers. It's Conspiracy Carl here. Welcome back to The Awakening. Let me tell you what has transpired since last time we talked. I have been awakened myself to the immense lies of this person right here. This liar, Alex Bale. Let me tell you what. Watching his last conspiracy theory video, and I'd like to know exactly what he means by making me look like a crazy guy saying I love them a little too much. You know what? That is awesome.
Maybe some of you love them a little too much.
Let me tell you this, Alex Bale. Where would you be without me? Where would you be without Conspiracy Carl? I think half your followers are there because of Conspiracy Carl. This is horrible. And you know what this means? I went back and I started looking at your videos. I started looking at your content. And let me tell you what, somebody looks like they're a puppet for the Illuminati.
Wait. Hold on. 3 things here. First of which is contextual. We saw Alex try to calm down on taking theories from the Muse right after he finished recording for the last theory video. That video was not up yet. Right after he attempted to chill, the order was given from whatever actual evil eye was watching to apply psychological pressure. This Carl has the same glasses as the cut-in Carl from the previous videos, the one with loose thread on his board, and there's a new message here. Get more meat, directly above the take the train message that previously was positioned to just say take the Muse. We already know Muses need raw meat and lots of it, and Conspiracy Carl shouldn't be taking off online either. He should be sitting in obscurity with the rest of the tinfoil hatters. If Alex's Muse is connected to a force, and he's suddenly in need of psychological pressure applied on him from that force, and Alex is aware of Conspiracy Carl, who has his own Muse influence, then the sequence of events and Carl's action here makes sense. It's not just that he's offended, he's carrying out an order, and he's been deeply rewarded for it.
You, sir, have been inserting secret messages into your videos. You've been inserting strange words that are like key words that only certain people would know. For instance, it sounds like the fish in Bikini Bottom are uniquely evolved and it's not some worldwide phase. Huh, imagine that. What do you mean by that? What do you mean by worldwide phase? I'll tell you what he means. Keywords to activate people, sleeper cells. It's keywords. Let's talk about this. The pets that they had, spirit worm. I did an intense search of the World Wide Web. Not that dark web you exist in, but the real web. And I found out there's no such thing as spirit worms. So who are you trying to fool, Alex? Nobody. Something that you need to remember when you're looking at Alex's videos. If you want to see how crazy he is and how much of a sellout he is, you will notice whenever he says one of the key words.
This is actually real. If you go through theory video number 4, you will find the numbers, but Carl has interpreted the message wrong. Notice the numbers are all red, like the aggressive text of whatever overlord is at work here. The message is actually, Phase 1 complete, host shown resistance, break his spirit, remove his aspirations. So the forces at work behind the Muses have the ability to manipulate Alex's final output somehow. One more video arrives from Carl before Alex's next theory. He's looking different again. His room is highly tinfoiled, and there's something odd on the monitor. The word lie in that harsh red on the lower left and flipped above it, easily interpreted differently as 317. That doppelganger idea is showing up again. In this video, Carl watches Alex's new short film and insults it. This is why 317 is on Carl's monitor. He noticed it in the short film, but is far more focused on it saying lie backwards. From our perspective, we can see it in a different light. The outcome of the video aligns with the real all-seeing eyes directive regarding Alex.
Here's what we need to do, people. Here's what we need to do. You go on there, you go on that doggone YouTube channel, and you put in the comments that you are not going to take it, all right? Just tell him he needs to get back to that Spongebob stuff, okay? All right? Stick to the Spongebob stuff. That's what you're good at, Alex Bale. Everybody in the comments tell him that movie is garbage and he needs to get back to what he was doing before. That way we can maybe turn it around on him and keep track of him like he's trying to have them keep track of us. You understand what I'm saying, people? So let's try. Let's try.
Does Carl seem distracted by something in his own house? It wouldn't be something big and monstrous lurking in the basement or an adjacent room, would it? Now, before we proceed, a word on the depth of information surrounding Carl and other AIG aspects of this project. Alex Bale went through such complexity of execution in world building and narrative touches branching off the main series that he could be hired by a AAA studio to execute a promotional ARG that exceeds the original Cloverfield game. That is not a joke. You could pay this man $12,000 a month for 3 months and see him work a media miracle that would get video essays for years. To actually lay out everything in total exhaustive detail would take a dedicated video or full half-hour sections for each arm, and I applaud it. That's a feat and a half. It's dedicated and daunting. There were 4 different surface-level arms of media you could explore. A 5th deep-cut cryptography-involved ARG arm that only the most dedicated pursued, and a bonus channel he didn't have to make just to reward you for looking and confirming he did. It's like Alex made DLC for this ARG. Who the hell thinks of doing that? When I say it would take multiple videos or multiple hours to cover all of this, I mean it. Alex Bale has gone to a depth of ARG expansion connected to the Spongebob theories that generates its own big red string conspiracy board. Our purpose here, though, lies in exploring the main narrative and ARG portions that directly factor in, as well as what's needed for our discovery sections. Don't stare at all the ways the spiderweb branches out and how it was built, because you'll get caught in the strands. Focus on the spider and see why it built the web there. That's the objective of this video.
I can't take this anymore. You'll get used to it. Tyler Rose, what are you doing here? I'm just hiding out in here. I can't go anywhere without people calling me Illuminati. This is ridiculous. You can't let Bale ruin our lives like this. What are we supposed to do? We're on the list. And once you're on the list, you're stuck there for life. He's right. Austin, what are you doing in the corner?
Dedicated ARG players did compose a full Google document for Don't Feed the Muse, available on the subreddit r/AlexBale. Shout out to all who wrote it and contributed. Exemplary work and deeply helpful. I'm grateful to you. So if you're looking for the entire rundown and all its world building, go there. I'm going to give you as much as I can while keeping to the main objective and providing necessary details. But I won't go over every single minute aspect of all the branches of the ARG in one video. What I'll tell you is this. Very careful observers of all the Carl media found he was going through a divorce. He seemed to begin some very normal conspiracy concern videos without a tinfoil hat while he was lonely, and was targeted because he was, like Alex, in an emotionally vulnerable state while making things online. Conspiracy Carl was formed by a muse, who raised him out of obscurity by making him a ridiculous caricature of a man who then expanded on something already popular under muse design to gain viewership. World-building material conveys to us that his direction distanced him from his family. At this moment in the narrative, he's taking orders for a psychological operation to push Alex back in line, and in continuing the definitive edition of the cinematic side, we see more of how things turned out regarding that new short film.
What the hell was that? I have to hide.
There's no tension, the pacing is slow. It fundamentally fails as a film.
That movie is garbage, and he needs to get back to what he was doing before. Stick to the Spongebob stuff. That's what you're good at.
Alex, go back to making SpongeBob theory videos. No one wants to see your awful horror films. I've been your host, the one and only Cynical Critic, and remember to stay cynical. See you later.
I've said it before, but the overwhelming support for these videos is insane, so I'd be stupid not to make more. Thank you so much for watching. I've been your host, Alex. We've got more on the way. I'll see you next time. Hey, listen, that theory was awesome. You know, I don't know how you keep coming up with these, but, I mean, they're great. And listen, you were totally right, you know? The people want SpongeBob theories, so who am I to ignore them? So, thank you. Hello? Got the meat for you. Alright, listen. If we're gonna work on this, then we need to work on our communication skills, because this creepy quiet act is getting old.
Alex's muse stays quiet. Too quiet. As much as he hesitates, he eventually decides to move from questioning the darkness to turning on the light, finding nothing but empty bags. Apparently deserted, he sits with his laptop, opening a document to start the next SpongeBob conspiracy on his own. His thoughts are interrupted by a drop of liquid on his hand.
Why are you on my ceiling?
My boy, you have done well. But if we are to continue our work, I will require something more.
We see several shots from a pet shop before Alex walks up to the counter, wearing a SpongeBob hoodie. He asks for the biggest animal they have, and we're ushered into Phase 2, looking at the cats for sale. Before we get to seeing that, however, let's consider something that came up here a little more than Conspiracy Carl. A different CC, the Cynical Critic. The Cynical Critic is actually an achievement entirely unto itself and proof that Alex Bale knows how to make YouTube success better than most people. With his premiere video, Why the Dark Knight is a Terrible Movie, his ARG narrative character, the Cynical Critic, immediately shot up in views and subscribers, arriving on YouTube with a bang. It's exactly what you think. A movie reviewer proudly proclaims that one of the most critically and generally loved and successful superhero movies of all time is a flawed mess. Throughout the video, you can see the closet door slowly opening. Very odd, considering the critic himself never leaves his seat. There are also a bunch of missing posters behind him. Hints at yet another YouTube ARG branch of this project, Sock the Blue Rat, are alluded to by the Sonic the Hedgehog plush and poster in the room. Cynical Critic's second video, Why Parasite is an Objectively Bad Movie, exploded to the tune of over 100,000 views.
Yeah. It's an objectively terrible movie. Hello everyone, my name is the Cynical Critic, and today we're going to be talking about Bong Joon-ho's Parasite. This film has to be at the top of the list when it comes to most overhyped films ever. Listen, I know I'm stepping on a hornet's nest here, but yeah, I don't care. Parasite really sucks. Parasite winning Best Picture is enough for me to know that the Oscars are rigged, but 6 awards? 6 awards? Really? This movie?
Alright, that's enough hate bait. Let's see the ARG touches. At 2:44 in the video, a subtitle from the film is changed to the order given to those under Muse influence. Phase 1 complete. Host showing resistance. Apply psychological pressure. So immediately we know what's up, because we only saw the Cynical Critic as someone tearing down Alex's short film along with Conspiracy Carl. This also alludes to why the closet door kept moving in the previous upload. The critic's muse is inside. Towards the end of the video, we get a screenshot of the critic's browser, and the bookmarks are interesting. Health Insurance D, Sonic the Hedgehog, Appeal Insurance D, would that be denied? Still Missing Anthony, an Imager album, and Fresh Meat Delivery. Remember, get more meat. If you check out that album, you get 3 photos showing the Cynical Critic was apparently part of a duo. Someone named Anthony is missing. There were missing posters in the critic's room, and he used to have a friend doing this with him. It's easy to draw the conclusion how this is all related. The next video, responding to hate comments, seals the deal very clearly.
So my Parasite review blew up, which is crazy. I think it's at about 45,000 views. I mean, it's nuts. It's really awesome. I've never had views like that before on a video. But with many views comes many, many, many hate comments. And yeah, there were a couple of nice comments here and there, but there are just a lot of people that just don't understand that I'm just expressing an opinion. Just an opinion, guys. Anyways, for this video, I thought it would be interesting for me to respond to some of these comments on both Parasite and The Dark Knight. So, without further ado, let's get into it. Alright, here we go.
I know you saw that desktop and email screen, and we'll get to that. But first, the very obvious. 7 unlisted videos with different thumbnail conventions than the new stuff, all from the Cynical Critics, plural. One is a channel update showing both of them, confirming Anthony's identity, and it was clearly about the state of the channel. Woe is the YouTuber who feels like it's time to throw in the towel 5 videos in, by the way. That's a terribly short period of trying and then calling it a failure. Especially when the Pulp Fiction video immediately after showed promise. Notice also the shift in tone that betrays actual opinion before Anthony went missing. The Dark Knight was loved, and Parasite was seen as better than Joker. The aforementioned ARG branch related to all this, Sock the Blue Rat, has now been bookmarked. Now, scrolling back, the desktop. That's a crop photo of the pair of critics. Sonic games on the desktop, and in the bottom right corner, a text file for Muse instructions and 2 folders relating to medical expenses and insurance. Either the remaining critic or someone in his family is having medical issues and insurance claim difficulties. Muse control double confirmed, and we can see when it happened from the channel shift. As for the emails, a quick read informs us Anthony's last name was Williams. He did go missing, and it happened right after the Pulp Fiction video, which angered Anthony because that wasn't the thumbnail or title they agreed on. Our remaining critic, Mark, was kind of stressed about making YouTube success at that point, as his mother was denied an insurance claim for her medical needs, and they cannot make exceptions. Looking up in Gmail, it appears they've miraculously changed their tune. The Muse entered Mark's life, and now everything is better? Was psychological pressure exerted there too? And the latest email comes from Sonk the Blue Rat sharing their videos. Interesting. And there are only 3 videos from the channel, each less than 2 minutes long. Okay, yeah, we got time. Let's go. Let's hit this. Sonk the Blue Rat number 1 discusses the difference between a good friend and a bad friend, with focus on the bad friend being someone who cares only about what they want. Bad friends go to the bad place. We're then shown old camera footage of children's drawings, signed Mark, of the characters we're seeing. Clearly a child's attempt to draw Sonic, Tails, and Knuckles. Then comes a missing poster for Anthony Williams. The episode ends with the Knuckles figure erased, and the claim he deserved it. Immediate impression of what's going on here, a different psychological operation aimed at Mark. Because if he only took up the Muse and the hate-baiting cynical critic turn to secure money for his mother, he'd be in a position to reject it after his mother received her health insurance payouts, and picking up the Muse may have involved getting rid of Anthony. Sonk the Blue Rat number 2 discusses helping friends. The Tails figure here wants to help the sad-looking Amy figure, but doesn't know how. Sonk says he'll make the friend all better if he's given a flower, but then says he's gonna need more than just one. Very easy comparison to draw to the Muse case. And then we enjoy a haunting, uncanny Sonic face in darkness telling us, if she gets worse, it's all your fault. Yeah, the psychological pressure is very much on. So what's in the last Sonk video? A very on-the-nose moment addressing Mark's quiet desire to stop doing this cynical critic thing, because the hate reactions are overwhelming, making him depressed on top of the guilt he already has. Sonk then reminds him in song that it could always be worse, and has other characters help him list out why. He could fall down the stairs, get hit by a train with the mysterious initials HMF, experience a plane crash, get pushed off the roof, or, see your health insurance suddenly disappear. At the end, we catch a glimpse of someone. Mark is the most obvious candidate, being recorded from their closets. And after this, Sonk says a brand new friend is coming just for him. So, what was Mark watching there? An unlisted video meant just for him, the ID for which was written on an object seen in the Cynical Critic Star Wars trilogy video, which came right after attacking Alex Bale's short film. This doesn't appear to be Sonk's new friend, and you may recognize his shape and speech patterns.
And no one is listening, okay? Leave the house if you can, or put on loud music so it can't hear you. You understand? Just make sure they don't see you watching this video. I'm sorry I can't tell you who I am. This is the only way I can talk to you without them finding out. I know who you are, Mark, and I've been watching your videos, and I know what happened to your friend. I know you've been feeding that thing in the dark, and it's been helping you make those videos, but it is not your friend. It will take everything from you, and the more you give it, the stronger it gets. If you still can, you need to get your family and get as far away from that house as possible. This thing is dangerous. I don't know how many of them there are or what they really want, but you can't trust anyone, Mark. Not even the people you think are your friends. I don't know if you've planted the spore yet, but if you haven't, that means you still have time. So whatever it promises you, it's a lie. I'm sorry. I wish I could do more. But I can't even leave my own house anymore. I didn't want any of this to happen. I just wanted to help you. Please be careful. I'm sorry.
Conspiracy Carl wants out too. So far, nobody with a Muse is having a truly good time. Let's go back to our central recipient of the most runaway success with it and see how he's doing after the pet shop visits. Alex splashes his face with water and stares into the mirror, trying to decipher the horror, confusion, anxiety, and complex PTSD of doing YouTube as a job in his expression before gripping the iron core of determination to live through it all.
alien death cult theory. Thank you so much for all your support on these videos. I've been your host, Alex the Spongebob Guy, and thanks again to Happy Meat Farms for sponsoring this video. Don't worry guys, I've got more theories on the way. I will see you next time.
Oh hey, Alex got a video sponsor for his theories. That's awesome. Shame that in the next scene, he looks so worn down from all this Muse stuff and doing the whole YouTube thing. You know who's a YouTube operator that's lived in the grind and could help him out? Me, and my video sponsor, Manta Sleep. Many of you have told me over the years that you've used my videos to help you fall asleep. You might even be doing that right now. All this time I've been making videos that help you sleep tight. I've been getting better bed rest with Manta Sleep. Their sleep masks block out all the little rays of light from the sides of windows, TV screens, all the disruptive elements in an otherwise dark room. It's one of the greatest online purchases I've ever made, and it was after seeing a YouTube ad. Since partnering with Manta Sleep, they've sent me the Manta Pro, perfect for side sleepers, and it's been so much more comfortable going to bed. They've also been generous enough to send me the Manta Silk and Manta Sound. Manta Silk is stylish luxury, exactly the material and look you expect while delivering the Manta Sleep experience. And the Manta Sound, with built-in adjustable Bluetooth speakers, is perfect for those of you who need to listen to something to fall asleep, or could use total darkness and soothing sound for certain occasions, like meditating. Entirely adjustable to your need with removable eye cups, Manta Sleep masks are soft and machine washable material throughout, and with so many options to choose, from eye cooling to a weighted mask, there's a Manta Sleep mask for everyone. Pick one up for the holidays as a gift, or give yourself the gift of great sleep for the new year through the link here, and get 10% off your order with my coupon code NM. This link is also in the video description and pinned comment. And again, if you've been having issues with light sensitivity and a sense of environment separation to get the sleep you're after, I can tell you from years of use myself that Manta Sleep will truly help you sleep tight. It may not keep some kind of horrible monster in your house that gives you the secret to overnight YouTube success at bay, but you'll sleep easier after your weekly encounter with a thing that should not be. Speaking of, let's take a moment to consider Alex's sponsorship. Happy Meat Farms. Have we seen them before? Yes. For the sharp-eyed, they showed up offering a sponsorship for the Cynical Critic as HMF Incorporated. HMF, like the train in the song video, as a psychological pressure tactic? Let's chase that. Happy Meat Farms presents basically what you expect. They're a farm corporation that bills itself as incredibly humane, raising animals as close to natural as can be, giving us peace of mind knowing where our meat comes from. Swing over to the About Us page for info on our inevitably fucked up evil corporation to read how in 1998, Ramona Bynes inherited a plot of land in Florida and vowed to create a farm that gave animals the best quality of life in the food industry. Doing so was not cheap. Despite years of success, in 2014, Happy Meat Farms nearly went bankrupt, but Ramona found a new partner that turned things around and expanded in a new innovative direction. We know part of that innovation includes sponsoring up-and-coming online creators, which isn't so crazy, as HMF Entertainment, a media branch, was formed in 2018 to make more than just commercials. According to that blurb, they've given artists around the world their first chance to make it in the business. Everything else here is pretty standard, except the employee access page, begging us to find the unique HMF ID code that lets us in. That's hiding in the website intro video, ZX159G. You're treated to Employee Orientation, a video that spends a little too much time talking about heavy NDAs, dealing with psychological stress on the job in weekly mandatory counseling sessions provided by the company, and rejecting hallucinations of concerning things witnessed by repeating, "It's all in my head, and I shouldn't worry about it." Along the side, we have an entire section dedicated to disinformation about HMF, with a third update linking directly to fake YouTube leaks from the R&D department. That brings us to the channel, This Place Is Not Happy, containing all the diabolical and twisted shit you've been patiently waiting for. Genome Modification Test 43, uploaded September 28, 2021, displays several animal subjects that have undergone DNA tampering to horrifying results. Now, those who know the look will catch quite immediately that much of what's witnessed in the early portion of the Happy Meat Farms ARG media was produced with AI tools of the time. As said in previous moments addressing the issue of AI inclusion in projects, there are extremely few cases in which the use is understandable. Coming from 2021, we can acknowledge that Alex's choices here were without the information that would be commonplace later, and the purpose was very clearly not replacement of artists, but the achievement of what early AI imagery produced, terrible monstrosities you can hardly comprehend. Seeing the photos, it's extremely clear this was used because the outcome would be hideous and unbelievable in a way these programs would achieve in somewhat photorealistic fashion. It's one of the very rare instances in which the application was a tool for an effect in the workflow chosen for its flaws, rather than a shortcut replacing workflow, and lack of information must have contributed to the choice. That's my brief word on the subject. Back to the narrative. We learn subject M101, a 7-month-old cow that's become a giant spider creature, has escaped the facility, and Happy Meat Farms needs to find it immediately. But that trial is still deemed effective, and they want to begin human trials. The video for Test 47 opens with a company promo video asking employees to join a new testing opportunity within the organization, so we know where they'll be getting their subjects, and we get to witness the results. They're as hideous and horrible as you can imagine, and include a mix of willing employees, insubordinate employees, and a journalist who got too close. Subject 27, a 47-year-old human female, is classified as a host. Extremely intelligent, extremely dangerous. She escaped. Results. Mother will be pleased. It's evident that more miserable results in these trials are sent to HR. That's the Happy Meat Farm side of things around this stage of Alex's journey. We'll check in on him in a moment, right after taking a look at what happened with Mark, the cynical critic, making contact with Happy Meat Farms, who are very probably definitely behind the Muses through their insane genetic experiments on behalf of a mysterious mother.
Everyone, I'm your host, the Cynical Critic.
And I'm Antonio, your other cynical critic.
So big announcement, my friend Antonio is back in town and decided to join the channel as my new co-host.
And I am so excited to be here. Me and Mark actually go way back. I'm actually the one that gave you the nickname Cynical Critic. Do you remember that?
Yeah.
There's that friend Sock said they'd be sending. We'll see how that thread develops later. Back to Alex.
Hey. Hey, I'm gonna assume you're still down here. I thought about what you asked, and I'm sorry, I just can't. I mean, it's one thing to buy you meat, but a living animal, like a cat, that's not a line that I'm willing to cross. And if that means you're not gonna give me Spongebob theories anymore, then so be it. But honestly, man, good luck finding someone else that's gonna be willing to be a part of whatever this weird relationship is between us. Come on, I know you can hear me. What did you do?
My boy, I took what you brought me.
No, but I changed my mind. I didn't give you the cat.
You purchased the cat. You brought it to this home. I simply finished the job.
No, this is not what I wanted, okay? This isn't worth it. We are fucking done.
Boy, we both know you can't go back now.
Okay, this is the last time, and then I want you out of this house.
Alex holds Gary's collar in disbelief as the scene fades out, bringing in the aggressive red text of the all-seeing eye. He's not ready yet, it says. Recommendation: send reinforcements. SpongeBob Theory 7, the robot replacement, arrives next, and Alex finds himself seeking company offline, but has difficulty getting out of his head.
Alex. Alex,
Oh. Sorry, what?
you okay, dude?
Yeah, sorry, I've just got a lot on my mind lately.
How's the Spongebob theorizing going?
It's good. It's good. I'm actually thinking about maybe stopping.
Why? They're huge.
Yeah, I mean, people watch them. It's just, I didn't go to film school for 3 years just to make SpongeBob theories forever.
Yeah, but I mean, it's just something you're doing now. Doesn't mean you have to do them, like, forever.
It's easy for you to say. I mean, what, you're a year out of film school and you're already directing commercials?
Yeah, but I didn't go to film school to make commercials either. It's just something I'm doing for now. I like SpongeBob theories.
Yeah, maybe. I don't know, these videos also just, they take a lot to make. Not sure if I'm up for it anymore.
Dude, up for it? You just like watching cartoons all day. That sounds awesome. I would kill to have as many followers as you, man. I'd be set. I've been trying to get my film funded for months, and I still have nothing to show for it. You know, sounds like a pretty sweet gig you got there. But
Alex is back at home, Googling solutions to his problem, though it's hard to believe any serious potential will come of these inquiries. He resorts to the classic approach. Grab a knife, start negotiating.
Hey, I'm still serious about you leaving this house. It's not that I don't appreciate everything you've done for me, it's just, I think we want very different things. You know, I don't want it to come to this, but I will use force if I have to, so you better go. Hey!
Hey!
Victoria, what are you doing here?
I was just around, thought I'd stop by. Can I come in? Or
Inside? No, it's not a good time right now.
in all honesty, it kind of seems like you're going through something. I just wanted to check in on you.
I appreciate that. It's just, I'm fine, you know. It's just the SpongeBob stuff has been keeping me really busy. I'm a little stressed about that, and but I'm fine. You should probably go.
You're being really weird. You're not answering your phone. You're living in total darkness. Can you just talk to me? What's going on?
Okay, fine. Okay, we can talk. Just not here.
Fine. Do you want to get coffee or something?
Sure, fine. Yeah. I gotta put something away. Just stay right here. Shit. Victoria! 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 Where's Victoria? Do not give me the silent treatment right now. I swear to God, if you did something, I'll...
Oh my God!
Victoria! Where were you?
I was using your bathroom. Why the fuck are you pointing a knife at me?
Shit, okay, it doesn't matter. Okay, you cannot be here right now.
No, I am not leaving until you tell me what's going on.
Listen, I promise I will explain everything to you later. You cannot be in here.
Why are you so afraid of me being in your house?
Victoria, I promise you, this is not the time. We have to leave right now.
Your muse isn't gonna eat me!
What? You mean the big tentacle monster in my basement?
Yeah.
How do you know about that?
I have one too.
What?
It's going to be a long talk, so Alex puts the kettle on, then asks Victoria if she also has a creepy monster thing in her basement giving SpongeBob theories. It's not like that for her. One day it showed up in her place, helped her land commercial jobs, and eventually left. She doesn't know much more about it than Alex does. It did want meat, and when Alex says it took a cat, Victoria is surprised but brushes it off. So Victoria can disappear now, actually. She tells Alex to just keep feeding the muse, simple as that, and all will be fine, with enough SpongeBob theories to last him for years.
Hey, so I've been thinking about things, and I'm willing to continue our relationship, but things have to be very different this time. No more eating living animals. Let's just stick to the store-bought meat, okay? Oh, okay. Great. Glad we're on the same page. You know, I'm sorry about all the shouting and the craziness. You know, I won't have anything against you personally. I think if we just communicated better, we could have, you know, avoided a lot of the issues that we were having. But I'm glad we finally have an understanding.
Injured by his inspiration, Alex treats his wound the Bikini Bottom way, then moves to the hall where the toxin hits. He stumbles his way to the kitchen, fighting off the sensation, then becomes hungry. Horribly, insatiably hungry. The aftermath is very clear on a pan through the kitchen, ending with Alex indulging in the meal of the muses. Raw red meat, right out of the package. We switch scenes to a commercial shoot for Happy Meat Farms, directed by Victoria. She calls a cut, takes out her phone, and sees her voicemail full of messages from Alex.
Hey Victoria, I tried to work things out with the Muse like you said, and then I'm pretty sure it like bit me or something, and now I'm like feeling really weird and craving raw meat. Could you just call me back please? I'm starting to freak out a little bit. Victoria, where have you been? I've been trying to call you all day.
Hey, sorry, I'm at work.
Okay, so like the Muse like bit me, I think, and now I'm like craving raw meat and...
Yeah, I know, I got your messages. Just calm down. This is a good thing.
How is this a good thing?
It means it's almost over. Okay, here's what I need you to do.
Alex is next seen looking haunted and barely functional in broad daylight, but pushes through the mental weight and accumulated trauma of YouTube life, just so he can face someone outside his home. We find he's visiting his friend from earlier, who's seeking funding for his film project.
Oh, hey Alex. What's up?
Hey Wes, sorry for just barging in on you like this. I was actually wondering maybe if you want to watch my new Spongebob theory, maybe give me some feedback.
Dude, yeah, absolutely. I love those videos. Come on, man.
How's the film thing going?
Oh, you know, funding's a nightmare.
Sure you figured it out. So just give it a watch, tell me what you think, and is it cool if I use your bathroom?
Yeah, no problem. It's just right through there, so.
Cool. I guess enjoy. Alright, so this time instead of ending with the big twist, I'm just gonna overlook it. The Flying Dutchman is the ghost of Patchy the Pirate. This is a claim of these.
Alex wanders into Wes's garage, his intentions unclear. Before he can act on anything, he undergoes a dizzy spell as the Muse wound acts up again. We turn to Wes, who finishes the Patchy the Pirate theory and goes in search of Alex.
Oh. Hi, Wesley.
What are you doing down here?
Sorry. I must have got lost.
That's okay. I finished the video.
What'd you think?
It was good. Hey, is everything okay?
Is everything okay? Why wouldn't everything be okay?
I mean, come on, dude. You're acting weird.
You know, you're right. I have been feeling weird lately. Wesley, I have a confession to make. I didn't come here to show you a video.
Well, why are you here?
To help you.
Oh, you.
I'm sorry. Hey, sorry about all of that. I think I'm coming down with something.
It's alright, man. I'll clean it up. But you should probably go, though.
Yeah, I'll go. Sorry again.
Alex meets with Victoria, who tells him he did the right thing, and soon there will be no worries about the Muse. Over at Wes's place, we see a trail of black goo leading from the trash can. And out of the darkness, a message in a bottle.
I like the haircut, by the way.
Thanks. Yeah. Long hair just didn't really feel like me.
Thanks again for, talking me through all this. Glad I don't have to deal with it on my own anymore.
Yeah, I mean, I get how weird it all is.
See you. You must have given someone else a muse too, right? Did you give me my muse?
You needed help. It worked, didn't it?
Good night, Victoria.
Spore successfully planted, the red text says. Phase 2 complete. We're almost ready. Now, speaking of that red text, would you like to find out where it's coming from? Right around this time came a new video from the Happy Meat Farms leaker, the HR orientation video, which introduces us to Ramona Bynes, the owner of Happy Meat Farms and subject of Victoria's commercial, before switching from the pleasant modern corporate veneer to the creepy, pulsing inner employment vibe. We're told HR only has one job: feed Mother. Employees will receive an asset from R&D to be transported to Mother. The asset, an experimentation trial reject, is sedated and cannot harm. Deep inside the empty HR building lies Mother. Several rooms along the way are different forms of uncomfortable. The hair room, the flesh room, the drawing room, were the very familiar drawings, right? There's a room with half a horse, and wear a shirt, he's fine. There's the pink room, clearly a little girl's bedroom, with 3 standout features. First, that cow on the wall is the same as in the profile picture. Second, the name on the wall above the bedstand is Ramona, the same as the founder of Happy Meat Farms. And third, a bit of text distorts over the top for the moment, reading, "How did they get every detail right?" When going over the mutated dogs you can pet roaming the building, another text pop-up reads, "I never wanted any of this to happen." With all the clues we have so far, it's giving hints that someone close to Ramona or Ramona herself made this video. Side comment as things progress. It very much seems that Alex went into an actual abandoned building for this, setting up many physical items for shots, which is yet another talking point about how extra mild this project is. Few are as dedicated in every element of approach as Alex Bale. We approach the IT department, where Jared works, and see the aggressive red security camera lights from the start of this adventure, overseeing Alex's indoctrination by the Muse. Our all-seeing eye has a name. Finally, after all these horrors, we approach Mother and are asked if we're ready to feed her. The asset is placed, and out of the darkness, a large black tentacle takes it away. The video ends with the return of Ramona Bynes, saying goodbye, followed by distorted movement and a monstrous voice croaking, "That's not me." That's not me. The leaker is Ramona herself, and from the sound of her and the movements, she may be the 47-year-old human test subject who escaped, a victim of her own company. What else had been happening in this time across the rest of the world build? Well, Conspiracy Carl didn't take kindly to Alex poking fun at his antics in the King Neptune video, so Carl's here to complain about it. And on the conspiracy board, we see the missing poster for Mark's old Cynical Critic's partner, Anthony. We already know Carl is aware what's happened there, so this isn't a surprise. What is a fun surprise is the montage of Carl's truth seekers, followers of the ARG who responded to a call for videos to be sent in from his mailing list. You have to be dedicated to this game to do this for a character like Conspiracy Carl, honestly. Props to all of you who joined in. Carl wraps up his video, taps his camera to end the recording, misses the button. then takes off his tinfoil hat and glasses. He looks at everything, disgusted, and pushes away his monitor.
What have I done?
Carl's next video is apparently a live stream, and he is not doing well. His energy is gone, he's aimless, he can't get into the act even with a new Alex Bale theory to attack. He does have news though.
But anyway, before we get too much into Alex, I've got a sponsor now, and it's Happy Meat Farms. Let's see. Happy Meat Farms is an animal farming company that offers a variety of different delicious meat products. There's so many farming companies out there that force thousands of animals into tight spaces and pump them full of GMOs, but Happy Meat Farms is a completely humane and organic alternative. Every animal has plenty of wide outdoor space to roam free. There's no additives or preservatives given to them. It's just 100% completely healthy and organic meat. I can't do this anymore. I am sorry, everyone. I've done something terrible. Everything I've told you is a complete lie. Something has been controlling me this whole time. Mark, I'm sorry about everything that's happened. I didn't know it was gonna get this bad. I didn't know it was gonna go this far. I've made something else and sent it to you, and it should explain everything. I'm so sorry. Oh my God, I'm so sorry. Whatever you do, don't plant the spore. Whatever you do, don't.
Mr. Mayhew.
Ah!
Finally, out of the tinfoil and into the action. Let's go. So, we've already seen the Happy Meat Farms video for human trials. What you didn't know is that it was hiding the motherload of information about Conspiracy Carl and Cynical Critic stories. Human Subject 23, who has no picture, was labeled as an outsider, and instead, there's audio of this person in torment inside the facility. It's the same sound that plays during the first episode of Sunk during the missing poster scene. The subject is Anthony, that's why he's missing, and he will never be found in the state he once was. The results of this trial were unclear, and we have no recommendation. Also in this video, a secret code granting access to the R&D employee section of the site. So what you need to know from the info immediately available is this. The HMF initiative is to push everyone closer to the new world, which is achieved through Serving Mother. Serving Mother is done through Project Chimera, an initiative to provide the largest amount of living biomass to HR, where Mother lives. This occurs through taking DNA from Mother and injecting it into test subjects. Some of these subjects are too interesting to send to HR, so they're kept for study. But Project Chimera's point is to feed Mother loads of material that have been created from her own DNA. I need you to understand this very clearly. It's a form of self-cannibalism to sustain her existence. This is important. Then there's Project Vulnerability, the attempt to sow disease vulnerabilities in the populace using their store products. Something major is revealed in the success cases. Subject Cecile Mayhew, age 56, consumed HMF ground beef and developed pancreatic cancer. Died 3 years later, indirectly yielding 2 promising hosts. Do you remember what Carl's Muse said at the end of his last video? Mr. Mayhew. And he's been sending videos to Mark, the Cynical Critic. Go over his email screen again, take a look at the medical insurance messages, and we see his mother's name is Cecile. Cecile Mayhew. Conspiracy Carl is Mark's father. And the wife who divorced him is the sick woman at the center of the Cynical Critic story. She was a victim of Project Vulnerability, Anthony was a victim of Project Chimera, and Mark and Carl are both victims of whatever unnamed project creates the Muses, aiming to turn them into hosts. And we are going to see what Carl does next, but we need to see what else happened with HMF at this time. The IT department files come next on Ramona's leak channel, bringing us into Jared's domain. Like the others, it's a very effective and entertaining video with touches of horror, mystery, and humor as Jared introduces himself as Mother's #1 special boy. He wants to teach us about motivating employees, starting with host K51, 24-year-old Victoria Campbell, an unassimilated HMF commercial director. Pictures of Victoria follow, as well as overlays of a document on Victoria, detailing a phobia of loose hair thanks to childhood trauma. Jared concludes that she ought to be exposed to an excess of hair. Host E14, a 27-year-old Antonio Geist, HMF video editor, unassimilated, follows. He was our editor, Jared says, but then he decided to misbehave. We're shown the homepage for Happy Meat Farms with its introductory video, and a hidden frame of one of the cow genome experiments. Antonio was a leaker, and so his fingernails were removed. He is now ready for assimilation, once he's done acting as Mark's assigned co-host. William Bill Wright is a 42-year-old biochemical engineer who is totally unfamiliar to longtime viewers of unfiction projects. Yeah. He didn't want to conduct human trials and was mentally destroyed with the slow torture of a high-pitched frequency modified to resemble his son screaming. He is no longer viable for digestion. Then we get to the internet acquirements for hosts, like Carlton Mayhew, conspiracy theorist, a simple man whose paranoia could be exploited. So that's exactly what they did. Filming him, building towers near him, resulting in the spiral that got results online. After completing the day's motivational tasks, Jared decides he wants to send us off with a story.
There was once a little girl who lived in a house on a farm with parents that loved her very, very much. The farm had many animals: a cow, a chicken, and a pig. And the little girl loved the animals very, very much. The little girl said, "I love you" to the cow. "I love you" to the chicken. "I love you" to the pig. But one day, while she was outside with the animals, she smelled something funny and saw the sky turning black. She turned around and saw smoke coming from the house and fire dancing in the windows. She called to her parents, "Mommy, Daddy, Mommy, Daddy," but nobody responded. All the little girl could hear was screams coming from the house. The screams said, "Don't let us down, don't 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 let us down." What was that?
We've seen Ramona, and now we know more of her story. Jared's attempt to psychologically torture her backfired. Meanwhile... Okay. Catch your breath a moment. I know, it's a lot. This is a lot. It's an Alex Bale project. Just take a moment. Make a coffee. Hang out with your pineapple.
show, there have been hints of these alien jellyfish secretly controlling people and pulling the strings from the shadows. This may be my darkest theory yet. This is the alien jellyfish invasion theory.
I was beginning to think you might have left. That's supposed to be the deal, right? I feed you, give someone else a muse, and you what? Leave me with a lifetime supply of Spongebob theories? It's all bullshit, isn't it? You're never actually gonna leave, are you?
My boy, we are almost done.
Hey! You don't like the light, do you? That's why you're always hiding in the shadows, right? If I turn this flashlight on, will it hurt you? Okay. Here's what's gonna happen. You're gonna give me what was promised, and then you're gonna leave.
Do it. Do it.
Where are you?
You are mistaken. The darkness is not for my protection. It is for yours.
The red returns, ushering in phase 3, and this time, it's not Jared, it's someone cleaning up a mess. After a bit of scrubbing, we find it's Victoria. No explanation for what's happened here that we can determine, but if it's organic remains, it's not from a muse. Did Victoria feed her muse a living creature? Catching the presence behind her, she turns and asks if it's still hungry. Yeah, probably fed a living creature. After a beat, she finds it's not her muse here. It's a person, and it's violent.
Hey, it's Victoria. Sorry I'm busy right now. Leave your message at the beep and I'll get back to you as soon as I can. Thanks.
Some of you might have seen my previous video where I was raising money for my first feature film, 813 Maple Street. At the time, I was trying to raise $25,000. Well, today I can officially announce some amazing news. Not only did we reach our goal, but we more than doubled it. As of today, we've raised over $56,000, which is just insane.
We find Wes on his elliptical, feeling amazing, and he tells Alex this is the first time in a long time he's felt truly good about himself. Alex doesn't have the heart to do anything except congratulate him, and adds that he knows how overnight success can feel. The conversation abruptly turns when he hears a dog bark. Wes says he's just dog sitting for someone right now, and Alex knows he can't have a dog right now. In trying to convince Wes, Alex can't hold his tongue. Wes is able to put together the pieces between Alex acting super strange, vomiting in his garage, and the muse suddenly showing up after. So now it's only right for Alex to drive over for a conversation.
Wes, are you following all this?
Yeah. you think they're aliens?
I don't really know, but we need to figure out how to get rid of them, right?
Yeah, sure. But why? I mean, obviously, if something bad had happened to Chester, that would have been terrible. But now that I know, kind of feels like I dodged a bullet.
Yeah, but you're not worried that it might never leave?
Hey man, if it keeps helping me make movies, it can stay as long as it likes.
Yeah, that's because you're not stuck with the Spongebob theory muse. Look, I don't know what these things are, but I think they want more than just some free meals. It's not worth the risk.
Listen, man, it's different for you. If you get rid of your muse, you still have hundreds of thousands of viewers. And if I lose mine, I'm just back to being on my own.
So, what are you going to do about Chester?
You know, I'll just leave him with a friend while the neighbors are out of town.
Alright, but if anything strange happens with the muse, you call me, okay?
I will. You're a good friend, Alex.
Alex rolls out, stopping at an intersection, then catches sight of something to the right. A telephone pole covered in missing dog posters, with Chester in the center. Wesley stands staring in his driveway, waiting for Alex to move on. He calls Victoria, checking his rearview mirror. He's not done making visits today. Alex doesn't know very much about his predicament, but we know plenty and can know even more. If you're willing to take a side road that may benefit us later, I'll introduce you to that ARG DLC I mentioned. Paradox 1313 is a film that was advertised during the Super Bowl of 2022, according to a post on r/ARG, so don't worry, it's not that insane. What is insane would be the media for Paradox 1313 itself, uploaded to its own YouTube channel. A film trailer that's incredibly reminiscent of one of the elder gods of ARG, Cloverfield. A couple heads to a party, where events take a turn as the news reports an unidentified object entered the atmosphere, lightning striking the same place multiple times, and people under attack by large creatures, producing a state of emergency. Partygoers run outside and stare at something before a black tentacle-like foot slams down, followed by a website. The ending image is the same as the opening image, a red skull covered with a monarch butterfly. The site looks like this, very mysterious and ominous, and occasionally shows a letter in place of a skull. These letters, put together and run through a rotation 13 cipher, gave the password Monarch, unlocking a video about a butterfly's life cycle from a caterpillar. The video experiences interruptions from footage of a wasp that acts as a parasite, laying eggs in caterpillars, exactly the way muses are now understood to produce. Alex was a host, Carl was targeted as a host, and in the new Cynical Critic video covering the Paradox files, we see he's definitely become a host with that band-aid on his neck. And are those bits of raw meat laid on paper on his bed? Back to Paradox 1313, a few videos were unlocked through chains of cryptography on the site, one after the other. Link 1 presents a video about dead fish appearing on beaches all along the Florida coast. Code cracking with Bible verses at the end brought players to a page marked CCTV, showing this footage of a Happy Meat Farms creature that escaped. On the R&D page, we found the corresponding info on subject M101, located at a home decor store 70 miles from facility. Subject caught and terminated, witnesses and footage of subject leaked to public. Cover story deployed, minimal risk post to HMF. A final page unlocked through more complex means by players, again shout out to the diligent work of the Alex Bale subreddit ARG members, brings about a video clip directly related to the Paradox 1313 trailer, and text in line with Ramona's leak videos declaring it's a new film from HMF Entertainment, effectively swallowing her entire effort online under the cover of being ARG marketing tactics, exactly like the Cloverfield game. Conspiracy Carl would be proud and furious if he wasn't caught up in the horror of this web. Is this footage what Carl sent to his son? It would explain the odd use of Mark in the lower left corner of the video. What we know of Mark at this moment beyond being a host is that he's very clearly being instructed to review the Paradox files as part of the cover-up. During the video, Mark receives a call and gets up to take it, leaving Antonio, the fully indoctrinated HMF agent, to finish the episode. Snippets of a YouTube ID throughout lead to an unlisted video under a ciphered title that means, For Jared.
Mark?
I have to take this. Mark, we're in the middle of filming. Hello? Mark? Are you okay, buddy?
Get out.
What?
Get out. Get out. Get out. Get out. Get out of my house. You piece of shit. Get out.
Are you done? You sure you want to do this, Mark? Okay. Have it your way. I'm sorry I had to do that, Mark. You know I don't want to hurt you. You're my best friend. Hey, shh. It's okay. It's okay. I'm so proud of you for coming this far. It's almost over now, Mark.
Final statement there reads, spore planted, host resistant but contained, growth slower than expected. The best guess we have at the phone call's context is that it was either Carl in that moment, giving Mark the courage to fight back, or it was the death of Cecile, his mother, because we know how that turned out. But what about Carl? What went down after he ran from the Muse? Go to his site, and we find just before Mark pushed back against Antonio, Carl triumphantly returned. He claims to have defeated the Illuminati presence within his home, and then addresses how, unbeknownst to him, yes, he was a puppet under their agenda for a period. They wanted him to play up the conspiracy nut character to discredit his findings. But he's defeated his house monster, and he's in fighting spirit. On the Happy Meat Farm side of things, with the HR building video came several shots in which part of a code was seen on a wall. Put together, it unlocks the password for the company site's HR employee portal, allowing insight into this whole business of hosts and spores. Mother has blessed us with many children over the years. It is our duty to make sure they find the right host and properly grow into their final form. The new world will not be something easily achieved. Humans are a violent and determined species, but they can be manipulated. If we are to gain control, it cannot be taken by force. It must be willingly given to us. HR is where we ensure that our control is absolute. This is where the nightmares are made. Mother needs assets to feed on that are fused with her own DNA. Children don't require that in their life process. Project Nightmare is the initiative to make sure a host carries one of the children, the Muses, clearly, to term. Physical and psychological pressures are used to this end, and the most effective forms of pressure can be applied by using one of the many fully assimilated children. In some instances, they may also trick one of the hosts into unknowingly manipulating another resistant host. We've already seen this behavior through Victoria. The hair room in HR was used to put Victoria in line so she would betray Alex. It's safe enough to assume the variety of rooms in HR were also created for Project Nightmare's psychological pressure operations. After a successful host is implanted with a spore, digestion occurs, the final and most difficult phase of a child's relationship with their host. The host's redacted cannot simply be taken. The will and identity of the host must be completely broken down before digestion can be completed. The process may be torture for the host, but it is necessary to break down their will. After this comes reconnection, which is when mother reaches full size and the children return to share the redacted that's been digested from a host. From here, mother will give her children the next set of instructions. So, let's run this through. Vulnerable people, especially those in media with potential to gain influence and attention over the masses, are targeted to be assisted by muses. A relationship of exchange that greatly rewards the target is established, and attempts to back out after success is gained will be met with fierce tactics by HMF agents. Once muses, mother's children, reach a point of maturity, they inject their host with a spore that does two things. generate another physical muse at the start of its life cycle to pass to another candidate, and initiate the final form of a child inside the host, leading to the digestion phase, in which the will is broken and the child takes over completely. At least, that's our understanding of it here. Any way we can get confirmation? Let's take a look at why 1313 Paradox Street is an instant classic, the final episode of The Cynical Critic.
I'm your host, The Cynical Critic.
And I'm Antonio, your other cynical critic. Today we'll be reviewing a movie that's not even out yet. We were lucky enough to get an early screening of the latest installment of the Paradox franchise, 1313 Paradox Street. Written and directed by first-time filmmaker Wesley Harold, 1313 Paradox Street is the best movie in the entire franchise, and an instant classic due to its own merits. Now, to be completely honest, we were given an early cut of the film that's only 10 minutes long. Apparently they're still filming it. But even with this small amount of footage, you can tell that this film is going to be one of the greatest horror movies of all time. Without spoiling too much, the film follows two best friends as they encounter a sudden alien invasion. Their friendship is put to the test, and eventually the main character will have to decide between his best friend. The film is full of emotion and intense action, and it was made with a budget of only $56,000. That is incredibly impressive. The film was a part of another genius marketing campaign that aired as a cryptic Super Bowl ad and led to a website.
Sorry to interrupt here, but you may recognize this from one of Carl's earlier videos when he broke away from the Muse. The EKG beep in the background that brought us here brings to mind their shared heartbreak, the condition, and most likely recent death, of Cecile Mayhew. Mark loads a backpack and takes a moment to consider something inside before quietly moving around the house, until encountering Antonio. He asks what he's doing before coming up the stairs, then asks if this is where it happened, and if Mark is going to push him too, making the fall down the stairs moment from Sonk very clear. He pushed Anthony during an argument, and Happy Meat Farms took care of the fallout. So then he gets this assimilated bastard too, and goes to the front door, where his muse appears, speaking in the Sonk voice. Mark yells for it to wait, then pulls out the spore. He didn't plant it, he kept it. He understands it's an egg, and if the muse doesn't let him go, he'll kill it right there. The muse backs off.
Anthony, don't you want to know what happened to Anthony?
I know what happened to Anthony. You killed him.
Is that the story you tell yourself?
You can't manipulate me anymore.
Mark!
You're not Anthony.
Mark, what's going on? Why did you change the video title?
What? No one cares about our videos. This is the only way they're gonna be seen.
You're making us sound like some sort of stupid contrarian clickbait channel.
Those channels actually make money.
Look, I know you're in a tough situation with your mom. I get it. But that doesn't have anything to do with the channel.
No, you don't get it. My dad's not helping. Our insurance got denied. I have to take care of her.
I'm sorry, Mark, but this isn't just your channel. I'm not gonna let you ruin this.
You asshole! Anthony? Anthony? Anthony! No. I'm sorry. I'll stay. I'll keep making videos. I won't try to leave again, please.
You did the right thing. He was being a bad friend. He serves a better purpose now. What do you mean?
He belongs to Mother now, and so will you.
is why we think the new 1313 Paradox Street movie is an instant classic.
Thank you so much for watching, and thanks again to HMF Entertainment for giving us an early cut of the film.
Remember to like, comment, subscribe, and hit that bell icon for notifications.
And we've been your Cynical Critics, and we'll be seeing you very soon. Stay cynical!
And there we are. The life cycle and events of Cynical Critic confirmed, with a clear understanding of how a final phase child appears. With nothing left of this arm, let's swing back over to Carl. He returns to us saying that in all his time being absent, he's been dismantling the network of the enemy, Happy Meat Farms, and freeing people from their muses using the defense mechanism he understands, having put down his own. He alone knows their weakness, and he intends to use it to go all the way to the end. Carl has even found an ally, Ramona, the leaker behind This Place Is Not Happy. He wants to meet in person to let her in on the method. Carl acknowledges he's let down a lot of people he cares about, something Ramona may feel too, according to her family fire backstory through Jared's taunting. We next see Carl just before the finale of Don't Feed the Muse.
Hello, fellow truth seekers. This is Conspiracy Carl. I've gotten a reply in my email from the YouTube channel This Place Is Not Happy, and I am going to the meetup now. No doubt that the demons at Happy Meat Farms are going to try and prevent this from happening, so we have to be very, very careful. I'm going to be filming this in case anything happens. I've already spotted a couple vehicles that look suspicious. I thought they might be following me, but I've managed to throw them off, and I feel pretty safe that I can head into the meetup now. This is the address I'm supposed to be at. It's a forest. No, I don't think anybody will be out here to bother us. Oh, wow. That must be the place. Let's go. All right. This looks like the place. Hey! Hey, it's you! I got the weapon! I understand. You might think I'm working with them, but I'm not. I swear I'm not working with them. Please, you gotta let me do this. You gotta let me do this. I've screwed up so much. I've lost my son. You gotta let me have this. You gotta let me do something right. Okay, yeah, here's the weapon. Here it is. But you gotta swear, you gotta make sure nobody else gets this. Hello again, Truth Seekers. I have just returned from my mission, delivering the secret weapon safely to our new friend. Obviously, I'm going to have to edit out some of this footage so the people at Happy Meat Farms don't see what this secret weapon is. But all in all, I think this was a successful mission. I want to thank you for having faith in me and giving me a chance to make up for my mistakes. Now it's up to you. It's up to you to take them down. This is Conspiracy Carl, signing off.
And there, Carl's branch ends, bringing us back to Alex. He exits his car and heads up to Victoria's apartment, finding it a mess, with evidence of Muse liquid, so Alex heads back to his car.
No. Come on!
your hand?
Yeah, my car just won't start.
Let me take a look at it.
I know you, don't I? You're the, movie review guy, the Cynical something?
The Cynical Critic, but you can just call me Mark. You're the Spongebob guy, right? Love your theories, man.
Thanks. You, made a review of one of my films, remember?
Right. Yeah, sorry if I came off as a bit harsh in that video. I was just kind of playing into the cynical character. I mean, you know how that is, right?
Yeah, I guess I do. Well, I'm glad you're out here. I mean, I don't really know anything about cars. You live nearby?
No, I just came here for you.
What?
I'm here to make sure you get home. You're almost done, Alex.
I think I actually might just call an Uber.
Where are you going, Alex? It's time to come home.
Get in!
Alex only hesitates for a moment. Once inside, he asks, naturally, what the fuck is going on? Victoria admits her muse never left, and it just tried to kill her. Except we know from the shape that it was the assimilated Mark. When asked about the Cynical Critic and his involvement, Victoria says she doesn't know. There are so many people the muses are controlling, and she's sorry for lying, but she was scared of the whole situation and losing everything. To get it all, thinking it was what she wanted, that she should be happy, but it was misery. It was hard. Alex can relate. He'd felt more alone the last year than he'd felt in his entire life. Victoria smiles, saying he doesn't have to be alone anymore, and her nose bleeds black. They stop at Alex's house. After a moment, Victoria tells him it's time to come home. Alex looks into the back seat. Shot by shot, Alex is dragged back into the house and next wakes in a very different environment. A warehouse or a farm building. His muse forms itself in the darkness, then steps forward, a perfect replica of him in a suit, a doppelganger in a yellow dress shirt. Alex watches in horror as its face splits open and it drags him in. Jared's text appears. Host successfully assimilated. Phase 3 complete. Begin digestion.
The show, SpongeBob SquarePants, is not what you think it is. I have made many theories about this show over the past few years, but this may very well be my darkest one yet. Hidden in the background of every episode is a secret society of tentacle creatures, pulling the strings from the shadows and secretly manipulating the citizens of Why are we laughing?
We're not laughing.
What?
We're in horrible pain.
What?
It's your fault. Everything I am and everything I could have been is gone now because of you.
In the corner sits Gary, watching Alex. His attention is taken from the restored cat to the TV, where his doppelganger is chanting, "Don't let us down." And on the way from Alex to the screen, we see the only person we've ever known to chant that, Jared, looking as he did before being transformed by Mother into the horror he'd become.
Don't let us down! Don't let us down! Don't let us down! Don't let us down!
Hello? Hey. Hello? Somebody help me! Hey. Hey! What? I can't hear you! Don't freak out! You're me. Why are you me? No, I'm not you. I mean, not yet, at least. Right now, I just look like you. Where are we? Wait. You ate me. Am I dead? No, you're not dead. I mean, you're not fully dead. Right now, you're sort of being digested. Digested. So, I'm inside of you right now. All of this is inside of you? Pretty much. Or at least it's, kind of what I'm letting you see. What does that mean? You see, everything that makes you is slowly being broken down and absorbed into me. Your memories, your skills, basically your whole identity. That's not possible. Really? Okay, then what's your name? I don't know. I don't know my name. What the fuck? Exactly, and I could let you feel this slow and horrible process, but since I'm a nice guy, I'm gonna let you hang out here with me. We can just sit back and relax until the clock runs out. Why? What are you? I don't know. You don't know? Ever since I was given to you, I've had instincts. I know what I have to do, but my true purpose, where I came from, is missing. We're all sort of disconnected. For now. What do you want from me? Why do all of this? Just to make fucking Spongebob theories? It's not about Spongebob theories. Do you have any idea how many people would kill to be in your position? I mean, you complain so much about not being a real filmmaker. Oh, I went to film school. All the while, millions, literally millions of people loved what you were making. I gave you exactly what you wanted. It's what we do for everyone. And then, in return, we take over from there. I didn't want any of this. You think I wanted to be the Spongebob guy? You've taken everything from me! You done? I didn't make you do anything. You chose to keep taking scripts from me. You chose to bring me a cat and lie to your friends. You could have stopped anytime you wanted. And you want to know why you didn't? Because you know that without me, no one will ever care about anything you make. So instead of throwing a tantrum like a child, why don't you sit down and accept who you are? Are you stalling? What? Yeah, you're trying way too hard. There's a way out of here, isn't there? You know, none of this is actually real, right? Like, there's not gonna be a way out. I don't care if it is real. You want me to waste time talking with you. Fuck you. Listen, you can do whatever you want, but if you want to leave this area, things are gonna get kind of weird, and not like a good weird, like a bad weird. Just remember, I gave you a chance to spend your last moments in peace. You're not gonna like what you find out there. Shut up! Hey. Hey, no, don't go!
Alex chases Gary through the void and straight into a pole with Chester's missing poster. The swings are moving in the park. The yellow light from the lamppost colors the scene. And when Alex sits up, he sees Wesley on a bench nearby. He approaches cautiously.
Wes, are you really you?
Why do you think the Muses want us to feed them something living? Why not just store-bought meat?
Wesley, we need to get out of here.
I don't think it's about the type of meat. I think they want us to give up a part of ourselves.
Hey, snap out of it. None of this is real. We need to get out of here right now.
I'm already gone. Why did you give me a muse?
I thought it would help with your film. It did, didn't it?
Do you really think I got to make the movie I wanted to make? You knew what the muse did to people and you still gave me one. You didn't do it for me. You did it to help yourself.
I didn't know.
Do you have any idea what the muse made me do? What you made me do?
Wes, I'm sorry.
Everything I am and everything I could have been are gone now because of you.
How do I fix this, Wesley? Just tell me what to do!
Dude. That's not the line.
What?
Look, your line is, "You're right, this is all my fault."
What? Alright, cut.
The camera pulls back, revealing the whole film crew around the two. Alex looks around in disbelief as the crew sets up for another take, directed by Alex, who gives notes to Wesley and tells the Spongebob guy to learn his lines already. When the clapboard appears, it labels the production as DFTM, and the director is still the SB guy. Alex tries the scene again, speeding with Wesley to an emotional true bro conclusion, all forgiven just like that. We pull back again to a theater, where Alex sits alone in a distinctly different aspect ratio. As he leaves, he glances at the show sign, "Don't Feed the Muse," on the right. He walks down the aisle and out to the empty lobby.
Hello? is this place so empty?
I guess it's always been like this. Popcorn?
I'm good, thanks. Do you know how to get out of here? What's out there?
Why would you want to go out there? Isn't this what you wanted?
The music stopped looping. The old man running the theater moves to the back of the refreshments area. A sad bedroom with loads of tapes, an old TV and VCR, and several popcorn containers still full on the table. He adds the latest to the pile, then retrieves a microwave dinner from the fridge. We're taken to the row of tapes, all their titles abbreviated. The old man takes one, TTT, and plays it. The call of the outside gets the better of the old man. He approaches the window, looking out, seeing himself in his younger years, and seeing a different life just a walk away. He approaches, leaving the theater and the offerings in its marquee. He walks to the embrace of an old friend, and after a moment of hesitation, he accepts.
Okay. Okay. In today's Spongebob Conspiracy, I'm going to be proving that Larry the Lobster is secretly a drug lord kingpin that goes by the name Pinhead Larry. In Season 4, Episode 18, Best Frenemies, a new restaurant opens up in Bikini Bottom that's selling something called a kelp shake. The kelp shake restaurant later gets shut down and the shakes get banned because of how addictive they are. Now, I know this may seem like just some random throwaway plotline, but what if I told you there's something much more sinister going on here? 8 seasons later, in the episode The Nitwitting,
Larry the Lobster can be seen drinking these kelp shakes, and Alex just keeps going like that as a party develops around him. A real jellyfish jam. Alex is celebrated as he moves around the party. It's a real good time. His friends all love him, everything is fun. He's even got his doppelganger on the screen still going, with theory number 8 in its bottle next to the TV. Alex continues to live it up, and people love hearing him talk about SpongeBob theories in person. He's in the flow, enjoying every second until he spots Gary. In his concentration, he alerts the partygoers, who stare until he starts speaking as the SpongeBob guy again, talking about the episode Jellyfish Jam, in which a happy-go-lucky party with a single jellyfish turns into an out-of-control situation.
At first, SpongeBob and the jellyfish have a great time together and party all night, but then the house gets filled with jellyfish and the party turns into a chaotic nightmare. No matter what SpongeBob does, he can never go back to the quiet, simple life he once had. Every time SpongeBob tries to stop the party, all the jellyfish get furious and attack him. The episode SpongeBob all the jellyfish around him start repeating the words, "Don't let us down, don't 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 let us down.
Go back to making SpongeBob theory videos. No one wants to see your awful horror films.
Stick to the SpongeBob stuff. That's what you're good at.
You're just like watching cartoons all day. That sounds awesome.
No one will ever care about anything you make.
I know.
Except you.
What's your name?
In
today's Spongebob conspiracy, I'm going to be proving that Larry the Lobster is secretly a drug lord kingpin that goes by the name Pinhead Larry. In season 4, episode 18, Best Frenemies, a new restaurant opens up in Bikini Bottom that's selling something called a kelp shake. The kelp shake restaurant later gets shut down. Now, you may think this was just some random throwaway plotline, but what if I told you there's something much more sinister going on here? In the season 2 episode, Survival of the Idiots, we hear Sandy Sleep talking about fighting two infamous criminals named Dirty Dan and Pinhead Larry. The same Dirty Dan we see written in the back of Larry the Lobster's jam. Is it possible these two characters are actually Well, I don't claim Larry the Lobster and Pinhead Larry are the same person. It's a bit of a stretch. Just hear me out.
Oh God! Oh! What now? Jesus Christ! Oh! Oh!
Alex takes a moment to collect himself, checking on the reality of his situation. He hears a noise and spots a bucket covered in the black blood of the Muses. Stepping over, he sees it, the remains of the very red monster that kept him like a ship in a bottle.
How did you break free?
I remembered who I was.
You can't go back. You know it's not what they want.
I know, but it's not for them, it's for me.
Good luck with that. You're all alone now.
A very needed shower follows. Alex then drops on the couch, clean and clear of any yellow clothing. Any yellow environment factors, actually. He turns his head, and on the other side of the couch is Gary. The credits begin. Then Jared cuts through. Unable to contact host. That's disappointing. The others are ready. It's time to come home. Jared sends out a coded message that plays across all screens and repeats. It's in rotation cipher, value of 3. Begin reconnection number 38. This batch is very promising and has already planted the spores for the next batch. They are ready for the next step. It's unclear if K52 failed digestion or if they're just delayed. If freed, host K52 poses minimal risk to HMF. We'll continue to monitor situation. A1 has been apprehended and digested. Project Paradox was a success. Mother will be pleased. Host 52 is Alex Bale, according to his info in the top left throughout the video. As for A1, apprehended is quite a statement. But what's Project Paradox?
Agree with us. The Meat Paradox is going to be the greatest film of all time.
Thanks again to HMF Entertainment for giving us this early screening of the movie. Remember to like, comment, subscribe, and hit that bell icon for notifications.
We've been your Cynical Critics. Stay cynical!
A viral marketing campaign for the film The Meat Paradox by HMF Entertainment. Another disinformation campaign. Assimilated Mark and Antonio head out to the streets, marching in unison towards a blinking red light. Credits continue, but then Carl appears, doing his thing, declaring victory over the forces of evil. He takes off his tin foil, heads outside, and into the streets. Soon we see Victoria, and Wesley, and crew members from Alex's imaginary film shoot, all in black tops and jeans. They march toward one destination across a field. Reconnection with Mother. After the credits, in a white void filled with blurred shapes, a familiar voice calls, "Mark?" And after a beat, he answers, "Dad?" Now, let's hit the remains of the ARG officially and quickly. As Carl leaves, there's a post-it note on the table with a link that led to one last video, the meeting with Ramona, from her perspective receiving the weapon. A melted version of the pink Easy Bake Oven from her childhood bedroom, the cause of the fire that killed her parents. She stares at it before being attacked by Jared. This was likely the apprehension and digestion of Subject A1. As for the rest of Project Paradox, one more upload came to Ramona's channel after this, declaring from the angle of alliance with Carl, who we now understand was eaten by his muse and did trick Ramona, that they were victorious, as Mother is dead, slaughtered in an HMF building explosion. At the end, we see flashes leading to a video ID code. It's been a long ride. Forget the code breaking, here's the results. A video titled Invitation and another titled Return. Invitation is the view of Carl's meetup invitation video from Ramona's side, including lots of footage of her conspiracy board. Return is a distorted camera rush back to the HR building, where Ramona throws the melted Easy Bake Oven at Mother, blowing her up, and leaving us with a title card for The Meat Paradox, flipping the entire channel into HMF's explanation for its existence under their entertainment arm. Project Paradox is now fully understood, and everyone's fate along with it. Mother and Happy Meat Farms have won yet another cycle. Alex Bale is the sole survivor, and the Spongebob theorizing has met its end. Hasn't it?
So, we have reached my final SpongeBob mini theory, and probably the final SpongeBob theory I will ever make. And it's fittingly the theory that I teased in the final episode of Don't Feed the Muse. I'm going to be proving that Larry the Lobster is secretly a drug lord kingpin that goes by the name Pinhead Larry. This is the Pinhead Larry the Lobster theory. I saved this one till the end, not because it's the best or the most shocking theory I've ever made. It might not even be the best mini theory in this video, but I saved it because it's the most ridiculous sounding one. Larry the Lobster is a drug lord kingpin that goes by the name Pinhead Larry is one of the stupidest and funniest sentences I have ever come up with in one of these SpongeBob conspiracies. And it's obviously an iconic episode, but I've always wondered who exactly were Dirty Dan and Pinhead Larry. How did Dirty Dan write this graffiti if he's supposed to be dead? I mean, I know it's not like we see when this graffiti was written, but it wasn't left on just any old random gym. It was written on the back of Larry the Lobster's gym. A gym that we saw Larry open in Season 9. I think this means that the real Dirty Dan, and probably also Pinhead Larry, are not actually dead. they probably faked their deaths and are alive somewhere in Bikini Bottom. He's the former tiny detail. Very briefly see Larry working out at his gym, but we can clearly see that he's drinking a kelp shake. And that wouldn't mean anything to you unless you remembered the season 4 episode, Best Frenemies. In this episode, a new restaurant opens up selling something called a kelp shake. They pop up out of nowhere and we never find out who was really running them. The kelp shakes have an initial bad taste, but they are extremely addictive. Basically get hooked on it like a drug. They're shut down and the shakes are banned because apparently they have some kind of radioactive material in them. The same banned kelp shake 8 seasons later. Maybe this is just a random throwaway Easter egg. I mean, we never see him with a kelp shake again, just the generic protein shakes. Except, let's take a closer look at those protein shakes. In the season 11 episode, Larry the Floor Manager, Larry briefly takes over as manager of the Krusty Krab and turns it into a gym. He forces SpongeBob to sell protein shakes, and even though the cups look different, the color of the liquid is the exact same as the kelp shake. They even seem to have the same initial bad taste. I think Larry was the one behind the original kelp shake restaurants. But after they were banned, he tweaked the recipe and started secretly reselling them as rebranded protein shakes. Were banned unless he's the one making them. Secretly a kelp shake drug lord protein shake store called Protein, referencing the kelp shakes. And this is also the episode with the Mrs. Puff newspaper, so you know the creators were like in a hiding lore mood. There is the criminal mastermind behind the kelp shakes. But does this also mean that he was the former infamous criminal, Pinhead Larry, who faked his death? Well, believe it or not, Larry the Lobster has also had a near-death experience in his past.
You know, there's a fun part actually about conspiracy theories, when you make connections. Or believe that you have. You either get to talk about it, or you just sit on it. Alex's mini-theory compilation takes us out of character and into the out-of-game layer. It's a safe spot in these contexts, the out-of-game. In ARGs, it's your safe room in the survival horror, your backstage area in the theater. Thing about a safe room in nonfiction is, you've got to actually know where it is, definitely. Do you remember where this ARG actually began? Did you confirm for yourself the rules of where the playgrounds are? Did you do what I suggested when we started this exploration and watch the Mrs. Puff theory? I'm going to ask now for your forgiveness. We aren't here to explain the missing pieces of Don't Feed the Muse. I needed to go there to get here. This is not my first time encountering an Alex Bale project. I've been watching his work since 2018, when my coverage of his previous story arc messed up his plans for a more organized 10,000 subscriber special. And I've gone deeper, much deeper. I've gone all the way back to the very start, which is where the final compilation for Don't Feed the Muse leaves its greatest clue. I know that was a journey, but I need you to perk up. Are you still with me? Because this was never just a Don't Feed the Muse explanation video. This is the Alex Bale theory. In order to understand the position you're actually in when it comes to Don't Feed the Muse, you need to understand who you're dealing with. Because Alex Bale has been a fictional character within his own creations twice before. He's often inside of his own short films. What if I told you that this goes even further back in time beyond my first encounter with him? What if I told you that he's been an unfiction prodigy since he was in high school, and has the longest running record of any indie creator in constant evolution in this space without studio backing? What if I told you Alex Bale has been playing 4D chess all along, and every element of this has been calculated to astonishing dedicated degrees? At the very start of Don't Feed the Muse, full horror web series by Alex Bale, a videotape glitch occurs that takes us into the tape of young Alex's time meeting Spongebob and Patrick, and if you're sharp-eyed, you'll catch a specific shot in the glitching. The old man from the theater during Alex's digestion hallucination, which we know is Alex projecting himself into the future. We can determine this not only from the window reflection and the sequence hugging SpongeBob, but from the Chabo poster from Alex's garage in the room and the rack of videotapes, which we understand are Alex's filmography from the tape played Time Travel Trouble. The abbreviated title, TTT, is written on the VHS sticker. Examining the other tapes, you can make out several of the other works. Alex's thesis film, What the Heck is Going On?, which is also about escaping from a media project. The Spiral, Your Car's Extended Warranty, Late Night Snack, Pizza Time Pizza, and yes, Don't Feed the Muse, the very series we are watching. This entire sequence too remains in the aspect ratio of Alex's old works, which began when he was young on devices in 4:3 aspect ratio. Notice also Gary is here, which is not just Alex's conscience, it's his integrity. The only thing that kept him from caving to the Muse was his refusal to hand over Gary, and it's the guilt of having lost that part of him for a moment to the Muse machine that keeps him resisting and ultimately saves him. In this theater, Alex has retained his authenticity, but he appears to us here in the fear projection of what that future looks like. An empty theater, with no audience to enjoy his filmography except for him. His only companion, his sense of staying on the side of his higher self. And in this room, there is a shot of a pineapple in the background, which is extremely important and has nothing to do with SpongeBob. But herein lies the clue. If for a moment we are seeing this version of Alex and we are time traveling back, it is a lead. In order to understand everything, we'll need to go back. It will make the journey richer. So, we go back all the way 10 whole years. Titanic with sock puppets greets us. Curiosity Views certainly got this video where it's landed in the numbers, and as we stroll through Alex's early years, we see how quickly his filmmaking passion grew, resulting in more ambitious videos, beginning with Broken Glass. It opens with a VHS play screen, and what I'm certain is an early YouTube unlisted link ID in the upper right. I've checked it, but the link is unavailable. In Broken Glass, Alex is snooping around the neighborhood, taking photos while wearing a shirt that says Bale's Bagels. And the purpose of this snooping?
And here at 0900, we see her carrying a mysterious bag. And in her trash, I found this half-empty carton of milk, which tasted unusually warm. All of this evidence leads me to conclude that Mrs. Crimbleton is an Illuminati reptilian shapeshifter.
Alex Bale's first original idea short film on YouTube has him playing himself as a conspiracy theorist with a red string board, and on it, he has an unattached photo of a pineapple with a question mark. Now, you'll notice behind him the pineapple statue decorations in the home. There are a few decorations in the Bale family home featuring pineapples, a sign of hospitality and prosperity. Alex already is introducing a mystery to it though, without saying anything, at the age of what must have been something like 16. After Alex's friend leaves, unimpressed with his theory, he has a snack and discovers that depending on how he moves, he's just cutting back and forth between places.
Not very normal. Yeah, definitely not normal.
Hello?
Amy!
What do you want, Alex?
Amy, have you been noticing weird stuff going on?
Stuff like what?
Like, cutting from one place to another, instantaneously.
Alex, are you high?
No, I'm gonna call you back. Hi. Have you been there the whole time?
Then Alex cuts to an outdoor scene where he meets his antagonist.
Who are you? I'm your antagonist. Every hero needs one.
Antagonist? Like in a movie?
Exactly! How are you doing that? We're in a movie. Things just kind of happen. It's a shame this movie isn't long enough for us to get to know each other. I guess I'll just have to kill you now.
Kill me?
Well, if you say so.
You're insane!
What gave it away?
Alex attempts to run away, meeting his antagonist at each turn, and has an accident, breaking the fourth wall. The footage rewinds all the way back, hits some color bars, zooms out, and Alex pops into his kitchen outside the film. There are no black bars in the classic cinema look. This is an Alex who has escaped the movie. You'll find in Don't Feed the Muse, the only consistent instances in which the black bars are gone are when Alex is fighting the Muse's influence during digestion. Directors are very particular about the language they use in conveying their footage. Alex's third film, Spoiled Milk, is definitely one to watch after Don't Feed the Muse. We start with the VHS setup again, then go into the film. A pineapple is perched on a shelf nearby. A load of odd things are in the scene. That's a strange selection of books, naturally, and the milk carton is odd, with its question mark, and the test study guide that makes no sense, and how dare you put binary code in front of me on that fifth question, young Alex Bale. Ignore that, watch what happens.
If I walk my dog down the street, and I have 6 marbles in my pocket, and I also have an extra kidney, what is the square root of blue?
Studying's hard, isn't it?
Who said that? You can talk?
Haha, not the milk. Me!
Wow, who are you?
I'm a physical manifestation of all pure knowledge.
Yes, that is a pure red all-seeing eye, a high-pitched physical manifestation of pure knowledge. Where have we seen this concept before?
I know almost everything about almost everything.
Yeah, I don't... I don't know. You seem kinda weird.
Yeah, kinda good weird. You wanna pass that test, right?
I guess you're right.
Great!
There's the pineapple again, by the way.
Let's get started!
Where are we?
Yes, I agree. Math, science, history. Learning is fun! 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 Learning is fun!
Too much knowledge.
There's no such thing as too much knowledge.
Once again, Alex is in a position of becoming aware of the elements around him that generate fictional media. The lines keep getting blurred and revealing he is in a layer of manufactured reality. And of course, he's been infected here by an outside force, leaking black goo, an all-knowing red eye. But not only has it granted him the gift of sight, it's distorted an element of self. Alex's shirt now says, Blaze Bagels. The films that follow are a mix. Dead Cockroach is a disturbingly deeply dark humor piece, in which that action is entirely in the background as someone is brutally beaten by a stranger. Telekinetic Walrus was a music video he worked on for someone else. The rest is a story about a computer virus that manifests in reality to steal someone's identity and live as them, and hey, doesn't that sound kind of familiar? It also features the first episode of Alex's first cartoon, Unicorns Without Legs. Remember this for later. Then we get to Alex's first high school-based film, Tyler Rose Exposed, an absurd humor conspiracy theorist video about a fellow classmate. And, for something fictional about a high school student, this video did numbers. An expose video about no one prominent and wasn't actually an expose on a tiny channel in 2016 made great views. Do you think that left an impact on young Alex Bale, who was already making short films with a conspiracy theory lean? Alex's next video, How to Friends, a short film, also did quite well. The Don't Hug Me I'm Scared wave may have helped this along greatly, having come out in May of 2016. But then, a major trend change. Who is Kevin MacLeod, racking up 124,000 views as of today? It's a different approach for Alex, demonstrating a few kinds of content on YouTube with Kevin MacLeod music, then going into an animated illustrated piece which is, again, a conspiracy joke narrative.
MacLeod.
Who's Kevin MacLeod?
Exactly. Have you ever wondered where all the stock royalty-free music comes from?
No.
Who would spend all of their time making music that they don't even get paid for? Kevin MacLeod would. Kevin MacLeod has composed over 2,000 public domain songs for anyone to use, as long as they give credit. Because of this, millions of videos on YouTube use his songs in the background. You may not have heard his name before, but you've definitely heard his music.
Wow, I would never stoop so low to use stock music.
So the question is, why? Is Kevin just doing this out of the goodness of his heart? Or could he be hiding something behind those empty, soulless eyes?
I think you might be looking a little bit too much into this.
That's what I thought at first, so I took a deeper look down the rabbit hole, and what I found was disturbing. Every day, Kevin MacLeod's music is getting used in more and more YouTube videos. Eventually, every video on YouTube will have Sneaky Snitch or Scheming Weasel in the background. Once he's infected enough videos with his music, he'll remove the public domain and file a worldwide copyright strike, taking down all of the videos that use his music, leaving only paid advertisements on YouTube.
No, Kevin MacLeod wouldn't do something like that.
Kevin MacLeod doesn't exist. He's merely a facade created by advertisement corporations to remove the competition on YouTube. Instead of filling the empty voids in your life with meaningless internet videos...
No, it can't be. Happy Farms, right there in the room, as Alex playing a stick figure is watching his own cartoon, Unicorns Without Legs. I have to show you something, which you might have forgotten by now. In the Happy Meat Farms HR orientation video, as we're going through several rooms, we suddenly see this, the horse room. That's half a horse, in exactly the same orientation as the unicorn without legs. Why would both of these concepts from one of Alex Bale's earliest silly conspiracy videos be used here in a serious Happy Meat Farms lore video? Why is Happy Farms even here? Go on, lean into that feeling. It's only going to get stronger. The Cookie Crisp Conspiracy, the truth behind Teletubbies, Dolphinspiracy. In the mix of Alex's early work, he kept leaning into crazy theory revelation videos about big recognizable things. And what do you see? Views. Lots of views. And all the while, he was still developing as a young filmmaker, playing around with new ideas of YouTube mockumentaries like The Cutthroat World of Pokemon Go and the statement short piece, Bees on Fire. But then Alex got into senior year of high school, joining the video side of the news team, and the promo series was born. I have watched every single promo. The entire series through, I've watched it beginning to end, as young Alex took what was meant to just be creative exercises for his high school's TV system as his first approachable audience platform. The story of promos is simple. Alex's creativity drives him to always turn promos into what he knows is going to be creative, fun, and entertaining, even if it's seriously riding the line of what's acceptable by school staff. This gets him into a bit of hot water with Julian, who oversees the promos team, particularly the segment Behind the ID. One student who's featured for that is Tyler Rose, who describes how Alex Bale made a video shared to the school population about how Tyler was secretly dead and also a member of the Illuminati. Huh. Where have we heard that line of thinking before? Alex then hijacks this promo from Julian to further his theory about Tyler. Down the line, tensions come to a head, putting Alex in a restricted creative capacity. This makes other students think that Alex sucks now, and out of retaliation, he puts Tyler Rose and his peer Julian on the list. This moment also shows us something important. Alex used to have a pineapple for a profile picture, or at least, in the past, associated himself and his creativity with it in the edits. The pineapple shows up in several shots throughout promos. It's definitely Alex's signature as a filmmaker. Let me remind you, this was all playing out in front of the student body at his school. Alex had an entire group of people he could get reactions from as an audience for his creative and narrative skills. He was kind of becoming a high school rock star. especially after he absolutely crushed it at a lip-syncing competition. Alex ends up making a conspiracy board about Julian as his first act of revenge, then kidnaps him to punish his insolence in blocking the student body from cinematic genius. Julian manages to escape and throw Alex's list in the fire, which ends his ability to keep seeking revenge on him. Tyler Rose's name does survive, and Alex pockets that portion. Following this, a mysterious blue mask figure interrupts promos informing Alex he's made their list and will be seeing him soon. We as an audience discover it's Tyler Rose, and Alex and his friend Jody and the promos team create a board. There's always a board, okay? There's always one of these boards, every time. Alex can't get away from this idea in the same way David Lynch can't get away from casting Kyle MacLachlan. Later, the blue mask reappears with a new message. They've kidnapped Austin, a member of the promos team who Alex is always making stand in the corner and leaving out of promos, though not really. The police get involved. The teacher in charge of promos gets framed for Austin's capture and he's rescued, and Austin uses information from his circumstances to get Alex to confess to what were simultaneously shown on film. Alex kidnapped Austin under the guise of the blue mask, knowing he could do it, so he could frame their teacher, getting him arrested, removing yet another roadblock to his creative control of school promos. Tyler Rose has still not been identified as the first blue mask, but Julian has figured out that if it's a kidnapping that has to do with promos, it's got to be Alex Bale. He works with the police to scare Alex into bearing evidence, then confronts him and explains that if Alex's friends know he committed the crime, then even with their friendship fractured, Julian and the police will come down on them. Alex decides to turn himself in, setting their teacher free and ensuring his friends in promos won't suffer for his ambition. The senior year students get to wear graduation uniforms. Alex gets to wear a prison jumpsuit. And then comes what some of you are familiar with, Pizza Time Pizza, a video series and ARG about a mysterious pizza company that is totally not a cult, following the teachings of the mysterious and all-knowing pizza man, who instructs his family on how to prepare for the ascension. When an outbreak of missing people coincides with the rise of this strange organization, a familiar face appears. Julian, whose girlfriend has gone missing after getting a job with Pizza Time Pizza, and he intends to bring the whole thing down. He makes demands that are to be met within 48 hours, or he'll let everyone know who's behind it. The eerily familiar-sounding pizza man appears in glowing red and lets it be known that he's not afraid of the truth. And that truth is, it's Alex Bale, operating it all from prison. You'll also recognize one of his family operatives, Wesley. As Alex continues running Pizza Time Pizza, he seems to have either a dream or a hallucination of doing another promo with his high school friends, this time for Pizza Club, with his new book on cults in the background, signifying that this is all basically an overlay of his prison cell. Julian goes to the prison to confront Alex, finding he's in a much more influential state on the inside than Julian could anticipate. He leaves, understanding that his path of detective work isn't over. And then Alex experiences the same dream as before, but wakes up inside it, asking how a pizza club exists, and he shouldn't be making promos, he should be in prison. He looks around, spotting a mysterious door, suddenly wearing the Blaze Bagel shirt from his Knowledge short film when he was infected by an all-seeing red eye. Alex swings back and forth between hallucinations of the same setup and between memories of being beaten up in prison, until finally having a confrontation with a mysterious voice inside his head who shows up like this. Yes, just like the Muse in its final form, battling for control of Alex during digestion. Because the entire time, from promos through now, Alex's more unbelievable actions and ambition as a filmmaker have been driven by the all-seeing eye from Spoiled Milk, an occult force that has its own hand-eye symbol that's been appearing on and off in the videos. Julian engages in detective work that unveils Alex isn't just a kidnapper. He was kidnapped as a child too, by another school-age kid, and found safe in a specific location. Julian braves a meeting with Alex's old kidnapper, who explains he wasn't himself. He was under control by a force passed on to him from his kidnapper when he was young. The force that controls people is passed along by the controlled person. Except here, they carve the symbol of an eye into their hand and do something with their captive to make it happen. Alex is still possessed, so despite having captured Julian and Austin during high school, he's still a host waiting to pass the force along. And Julian suspects the person Alex appears to have captured in a livestream with a timer is the next host. Julian heads to the house where Alex was found after his kidnapping event while young, discovering the garage is empty. That's when Alex appears and the Force claims its next vessel, who quickly disposes of the old one, bringing a close to Pizza Time Pizza. During this time, Alex did have fun with other videos, silly movie reviews, odd spins about major media like Pixar, Hannah Montana, Blue's Clues, Lion King. Hey, didn't he end up making a theory video about Pixar and Blue's Clues after rapping Don't Feed the Muse? Huh. All this, plus his horror short films, of course, getting stronger as a filmmaker all the time. And yet, all that time, nothing was coming up quite like parodies when it came to view counts. Sure, now Alex's short films all have greater numbers to be very proud of, but did you think the beginning of Don't Feed the Muse was a lie? And what do you think about that situation now, knowing Alex Bale through his history and character? Think about it. Alex Bale, the high school student, gets an opportunity to start making things on a small, normally understood scale, turns it into a grandiose idea that expands in ambition piece by piece, and is a hybrid of humorous conspiracy theory-themed love and genuine cinematic pursuit. He completes the work and, as a character, goes to prison, while as a person, he switches gears to something silly that, through the end of promos, he had already planned to spiral out into a grander narrative. Again, Alex concocts something bigger than just a momentary creative exercise, which will be a hybrid between humorous conspiracy theory themes and cinematic pursuits. It's bigger, it's more immersive, it doubles down on his previous skill tree developments, and it's based in and using his history since the time before the promo series. It's inclusive of Alex's filmography in a way you'd never expect it to be. But for all this time, all this achievement, all this ambition and dedication, what happens? You just can't beat the freaking parodies and recognizable media moments. That Tyler Rose expose, a conspiracy theory drama video about literally nobody anybody knew outside that high school and his family, and it made views. The parodies of major media made views. Anytime Alex dipped into this versus his own original creativity, the scale showed the truth. He knew what the crowd would favor. And after Pizza Time Pizza, the boom never came. He got recognition from me and Inside a Mind, but what else? There was only so much Jamie and I could accomplish sending people over compared to lowest common denominator media appeal. That's the kind of system we're always up against when it's on fiction. Original art versus something already established from a AAA studio, legacy properties. Everybody wants the big flashy neon sign of something that's been on TV for years. And Alex knows this. He's always known this, having experimented with it in his youth out of a genuine sense of fun for it and witnessing the result. You can't even say that he's got a grudge against it because he just kept coming back. So then we come around to the Spongebob conspiracy theories, after a string of original short film attempts and self-referencing videos only broken by a Scooby-Doo parody that did well. Of course, the Scooby-Doo parody did well, compared to everything else that Alex concocted with the knowledge that he gained from going to film school. All of that original creativity. What's that compared to Scooby-Doo? And then what do we have here? You need only observe this connection between young Alex and post-film school Alex as a key, and to remember how the heart of the Muse species operation works. How did they generate enough food for Mother? Do you remember? They had to keep taking her DNA, transforming creatures with it to make a monstrous hybrid, and then feeding these mutated half-children back to her. Even her purposeful children work in a similar fashion. Attach to something that already exists, disfigure it into a more attention-grabbing form, and harvest. What do you think Alex Bale has been doing his entire YouTube career? And why do you think I sent you to the Mrs. Puff theory? Every single Spongebob theory, in some fashion, reflects a layer of what's occurring or going to occur in the story of Don't Feed the Muse. It's all telegraphed. The art is imitating life. Even the time-traveling pirate theory is reflective of young Alex and old Alex in the theater. But in the Mrs. Puff theory, Alex explores a startling and very well thought-out discovery. Mrs. Puff's prior experiences as a runaway criminal who left chaos in her wake has damaged her psyche, and in the famous Season 3 episode Doing Time, Mrs. Puff attempts to feel safe away from Spongebob, trying to retain her sanity as he keeps trying to break her out because she has lost her sanity before. Here, Mrs. Puff loses it again, ending up in a hallucination inside a hallucination, spiraling out. And Alex's conclusion is that this is a common occurrence. There are entire episodes in which Mrs. Puff is just experiencing a form of psychosis. And this infinite photo sight gag in Mrs. Puff's home alludes to her fractured sense of reality and the infinite loop of her life. It's not the only time we get this form of sight gag inside her home either. Think about the digestion sequence of Don't Feed the Muse. Think about the scenario. Alex Bale versus a controlling manifestation of himself wreaking havoc on his mind. Think about the way both of these scenarios occur in terms of composition. Has Alex Bale, the character, lost his sanity before? Yes he has. And he's experienced the tug-of-war between hallucinations and reality twice. And in the first round, what were his hallucinations composed of? Media he himself had created in his career, established on his channel, a distinct and important part of his filmography, spiraling backward to the days of just playing around. The Alex Bale channel is not a series of totally new projects. The Alex Bale channel is an Ouroboros, forever creating new media by cannibalizing and transforming previous concepts into new hybridized ideas, each time becoming more complex, like Mother herself. What do you think this monarch butterfly picture in Alex's office represents? Is it really just the idea of a host and its muse form? Is it really just that life cycle? Or is its original orange monarch butterfly and new hybridized orange and yellow form giving us a clearer message that even after its initial transformation from caterpillar to butterfly, it can become new again? What do you think he was doing with SpongeBob SquarePants? What do you think I'm doing right now? It's a constant cycle. Eat, transform, present it again, over and over. Hybridize and make new. The end product always increasing in evolution and intelligence. Club Penguin shows up in Alex's old media and we know he was a fan as a child from his shirt. We get a video secretly filming players in the game recently. The Dark Side of Blue's Clues, a conspiracy theory parody video, gets a genuine, serious remake just this month, with all of Alex's newly acquired intelligence over time. The Future of Pixar, a joke video, ends up re-emerging as the Dark Side of Pixar bloopers. He will telegraph his next move right in front of your face so clearly it's like he's screaming at you. In Don't Feed the Muse 2, SpongeBob Conspiracy number 9, Alex runs from the Muse in his office into the hall, where a school bus decoration is sitting on the shelf, and the very next video he releases 2 months later is the magic school bus doppelganger theory. And in the end of the video where he teases the school bus, he meets his muse in the form of his doppelganger. Alex Bale's media has a dialogue with itself constantly, back and forth, in a way reminiscent of his short film The Spiral, which shows up as his mousepad in the last shot of his office in Don't Feed the Muse. Alex Bale, like Mrs. Puff, is deep inside his own series of rebirthing hallucinations, weaving back and forth between the force of the YouTube media and cinema cycle and the upper layer of baseline reality, which began with his first original short film, Broken Glass. The entire thing is a nesting doll in reverse. Every layer just gets bigger. And what was the purpose of Project Chimera? To create bigger and bigger loads of biomass to feed Mother, through the process of injecting her DNA into test subjects. You get it, don't you? Come on, it's right in front of you now.
No, I'm not you. I mean, not yet, at least. Right now I just look like you. Where are we? Wait. You ate me. Am I dead? No, you're not dead. I mean, you're not fully dead. Right now you're sort of being digested. Digested. So, I'm inside of you right now. All of this is inside of you, pretty much. Or at least it's, kind of what I'm letting you see. What does that mean? You see, everything that makes you is slowly being broken down and absorbed into me. Your memories, your skills, basically your whole identity. That's not possible. Really? Okay, then what's your name? I don't know. I don't know my name. What the fuck? Exactly, and I could let you feel this slow and horrible process, but since I'm a nice guy, I'm gonna let you hang out here with me. We can just sit back and relax until the clock runs out. What do you want from me? Why do all of this? Just to make fucking Spongebob theories? It's not about Spongebob theories. Do you have any idea how many people would kill to be in your position? I mean, you complain so much about not being a real filmmaker. Oh, I went to film school. All the while, millions, literally millions of people loved what you were making. I gave you exactly what you wanted. It's what we do for everyone. And then, in return, we take over from there. I didn't want any of this. You think I wanted to be the Spongebob guy? You've taken everything from me! You done? I didn't make you do anything. You chose to keep taking scripts from me. You chose to bring me a cat and lie to your friends. You could have stopped anytime you wanted. And you want to know why you didn't? Because you know that without me, no one will ever care about anything you make. So instead of throwing a tantrum like a child, why don't you sit down and accept who you are?
Alex Bale is an Ouroboros. But does that take the fun out of it? I don't believe so. The butterflies are far more intricate and expressive than their caterpillars. Yes, Don't Feed the Muse is, itself, a chimera of everything that came before in Alex's filmography, ARG included, but it arrived with all the emotional and mental impact of its journey to the butterfly state. We understand that Alex wasn't really suffering doing Spongebob theories, because his history was never just as a young filmmaker. That's a lie he presents in character. If it's conspiracy theory themed, especially in the vein of the twisted or stunning side of brightly colored media, Alex Bale is all about it. He always has been. He loves this. He is, at heart, a conspiracy Carl. That's why he spent so much time and effort on that angle. And he's still the high school kid who turned the promo segment into a grand serial narrative with as many cinematic touches as he could accomplish. He did still go to film school, make a bunch of shorts, and launch a whole absurdist YouTube humor film ARG in college, only to see things quiet down once he showed us more of his cinematic work. Experiments with the other side of his interest worked greatly, and he did have these interests, but then leaning back to his love of film brought so much less in views. There's a shared love here between both halves of what he cares about. There always has been. But when you love one side of it so much and put in so much effort, so much thought, so much creativity, and nobody appreciates that nearly as much as what's popular, the result is pain. The result is a feeling of being trapped. And if you want to understand that struggle's amount of time within Alex Bale's life, you need only see this from Alex's Q&A video after promos ended as a fresh high school graduate looking at his future.
Are you ever going to be a full-time YouTuber? Nope. Cattail Entertainment asks, you've inspired me to become a filmmaker myself, so my question is, what inspired you to become a filmmaker? Honestly, that's my favorite thing to hear, is that something that I did somehow influenced you to start a YouTube channel or be a filmmaker or just join your school news or anything. So thank you so much for telling me that. And if you ever make a film that I somehow influenced or inspired you by, then feel free to send it to me. Well, honestly, at first I didn't really want to be a filmmaker. I just wanted to be a famous YouTuber and get lots of attention and subscribers and views. But then I realized that being famous on YouTube is actually really, really hard to do. So I started making videos and I learned how to edit, and then I kind of figured out that I like making videos. I wanted to be a filmmaker and I like storytelling. And then when I made a video that only got like 3 views, it didn't really matter to me. So, my advice to anyone who's trying to be a famous YouTuber or a famous filmmaker is just keep doing your best and keep improving regardless of how many views or attention you get.
It's easier said than done, you know, to balance that life. It's probably clear to most of you by now. The muses stand for a few ideas, but Alex's muse is red for a reason. The all-seeing eye of Jared is red for a reason. It's not just a callback. YouTube, as a machine, is a monster, and it propels you into these corners when you get involved with it and start to succeed. It's always great when you do work on a video you love and it runs the numbers, but when that video's content isn't the only element of who you are and what you love, and you try to expand who you are, only to get crickets or cruelty, a sense of rejection comes with it, a sense of futility. What you used to love is now a box, because the pressure that comes with getting success is keeping it, making more of it, doing what you can to not get thrown off or fall off. Because out of everyone who's thrown themselves at this platform through all the pain, all of the effort and hopes, you actually made it. You survived. You won. SpongeBob theories or not, you did it. It's dark. It's cold. And it's YouTube. It's Twitch. It's everywhere. If you spend years fighting to be seen as who you are and respected for it fully, coming up with bigger and more dedicated plans to grow and make it, your whole heart, your whole brain, so passionate and excited, only to see things happen for you once you produce a new offering in YouTube's consistent order of the day versus your own original creativity. You went to school for it and all. How can you not feel like there's nowhere else to go? You tried to be yourself, and the masses said, fuck yourself. You gave them more of what the big established businessmen with Ryan Seacrest smiles sold under algorithm-driven guidelines. That's when they loved you. That's when they cared. But you made it above the 100,000, didn't you? With all the brilliance and dedication you've shown for years, all that effort, are you willing to let people down who called you a genius from the time you were in high school? An entire student body thinking, he's gonna be amazing. I wonder what will happen. Feed the Muse, or die old and alone in a sad empty theater of your own. That's the choice so many people find themselves in. You stay with the thing that gave you the pop, or you fall down. A fluke. A lot of people hand Gary over, you know. I've done this long enough to know it. That authenticity isn't worth the pain for them of success being placed so high over their heads. I was scared for Alex the first time I saw the cinematic half of the Spongebob theories. I was excited first. I was proud, too, actually, and immediately after I was scared. I've known who he was since he was a freshman in college making Pizza Time Pizza, and how crazy that whole thing was, and how young this creator was, and doing this nutty conspiracy thing. Filmic. It was a sight to behold. There was nobody like him. I was proud of someone I'd never met who was doing big things. I watched as he went on and made horror shorts, engaging with the artist track he was on, applying everything that he was learning, using the resources he had access to, helping out his peers, getting them on camera, getting them involved. They were all making work together. I knew watching that who Alex Bale always is, and I was glad to see it. Alex wasn't just being himself, he was being brave. He was brave when he made the Cynical Critic too, knowing it had to gain success taking that approach, or that entire narrative arm would fail. He did it though. That bravery was rewarded. He was brave when he put countless hours of time and money into the half of a project that much of the audience tuned out of or dismissed. He was very brave to upload purely cinematic installments to the channel in the end, overthrowing the entire balance of the Spongebob conspiracy theory series in favor of who he's always been under the conspiracy fun and the knowledge of what it takes to go viral. Because even if Alex Bale isn't always winning, I've seen that Alex Bale is always brave. And great art is always made by those who dare to go against the conspiracies designed around them. You want to be truth seekers? After all this time, and everything, you want to get to the bottom of it. You really want to see what's behind the curtain. I'll tell you. I'll tell you what Alex told you, 'cause he did tell you. You can love this life so much and it will hurt you, and you'll grow to hate it so much, not realizing you were making the monster you fed. It hurts the people who get it, it really does, in ways you'll never see, in ways you'll never imagine, beyond the numbers. You just kept going until you couldn't get out. You don't even know if you lost the cat along the way. It'll change the environment you live in to take up more of your life. It'll be the clothes you wear. It'll be the couch that you lie on, looking for rest. It'll be the name you refer to yourself as in your head. It'll drive some who have seen your success to take your muse and immediately hand over animals to it, because you thought you wanted it, and they wanted it harder. It'll drive you away from your friends and family. And once the ride is through, and you've lived with the muse long enough, and the assholes, and the peer pressure, and the businesses, and those who just ran away with the dream you had for yourself, and the person in the mirror you're not so sure you recognize anymore, from the guy who was so happy when you started. You have to make your choice. I don't know if Alex Bale truly escaped the muse or his media Ouroboros at the end. But I can tell you what I do know. Whether making ARGs, parodies, films, theories, or truly playing 4D chess, Alex Bale always remembers his name.